back. Welcome back to another episode of The Stupidest Podcast with your hosts, Justin Rademacher and the other guy, the beautiful, the slightly less bearded, but he actually looks pretty good, ladies. I'm just saying, if you're looking for anybody, there's your guy right there. What's his name again? I can't remember his name.
It's Justin Van. What's up, guys? How you been?
Nah, I've been okay. How about you?
Dude, I'm doing
you're
pretty
talking
good.
to them?
I'm talking to them, but I'm talking to you too. You know I miss you.
Okay.
You know I love you.
Yeah, I miss you. I love you too. I miss and love everybody listening too. I might not know you, but I still love you from a distance.
It's going to be an exciting night.
Yeah, no, this is going to be a really good night. This is something that we have not done before.
Yeah, this is a little different.
Treat. Yeah.
So, what's new?
Yeah,
Before we get into it, what's new? What have you been up to?
All right. I've just been doing a little more. Obviously, I've been playing a little disc golf. I was actually supposed to have a tournament today, but unfortunately, the weather did not allow me to partake in the tournament. But I did still play a little bit here at home. I actually played really well, which is really nice.
Good.
Just got some new discs in.
Oh, what'd you get?
Yeah, dude, I got 7 more discs.
Nice.
I know, and I already have a lot of discs. So
Jelly over here, jelly big time.
Dude, well, I'm trying to replace discs now. I'm really leaning towards MVP and Axiom discs, and They just seem to work really well for me. I really like Latitude 64 discs too. They've been really working well for me, and so I'm trying to kind of have my bag more towards those companies. And so I got a few more discs. What did I get? I got a Virus, an Orbit. I got a couple Catalysts. I got a few other ones. I can't remember the exact names right now off the top of my head. But yeah, I got a chance to throw an Envy. That was a huge one for me. That's a throwing putter for me, which has actually helped a lot. It worked really well today.
Nice.
So, but yeah, no, it's working really well. I'm gonna get my bag put together here shortly with my new discs and mix them in and stuff. But,
sweet.
Yeah. Other than that, just kind of working and did some more comedy. So I'm back at the open mics again on Thursday nights, hanging out with the crew there at Dublin's up in Duluth. So
nice.
Yeah. Shout out to them if any of them are listening.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta get out. I gotta do some open mics with you.
Yeah, for sure. There's actually a few of us talking about doing some open mics down in the cities again. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, hit me up.
I did get invited when I did that competition. I got invited to do one Sunday nights. Actually, one of the comedians hosts one down in the cities, and she invited me to come down and hang out and do her open mic. So
nice. Where's that at?
I can't remember off the top of my head. It is. Yeah, I don't even want to guess. I don't want to say the wrong information, but I'll look it up and I'll give a shout out one of the next episodes.
Yeah, from now on, we'll start posting when we go do open mics. We'll put it on the page.
That way, if you guys want to come check us out, you can. Well, if you ever want to check me out, I'll be at Dublin's every Thursday night in Duluth.
Almost every Thursday.
Almost every Thursday, yeah. I might not be there the Thursday that you go, so I apologize if I don't make it. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. What have you been up to?
Dude, we're getting works kicking off for spring cleanups and all that. We're getting all the summer gear out, getting all that ready to go. What else is
exciting.
New? Bowling's wrapped up. We just had our first night of golf.
Ooh, how'd that go?
Dude, I played really well. It looked like I was freaking mid-season.
Really?
Yeah, we play 9 holes in league. So I shot a 44, which isn't great, but I had a 9 on the card. So I'm pretty happy with a 44 with a 9.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. You must have stepped up your game on the other holes.
Dude, I was driving the ball phenomenal.
What was it like? What was the issue on the one that you got a 9 on?
I lost 2 balls.
Oh, that's rough.
So like I said, my driving was phenomenal, and I overshot the hole.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I shot the green. Like, it went over the green and into the woods on my drive, and I was like, oh, great. So I drop, and then I go to chip, and I scalded my chip, and that went across the green and into the woods again, so I had to drop another one.
Dude, you gotta get out of the gym.
Dude, my chipping last. If my chipping would have been good, I would have probably been right around scratch. But my chipping was terrible.
Oh, damn.
But other than that, dude, I was really happy with the way I played.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean, you can't let one hole affect how your whole day went. Because I did the same thing when I was disc golfing today.
Yep.
I had a phenomenal round, but I had a double. And I was trying just not to let that get to me and ended up doing okay. So
Yeah. Yeah, if you let it affect you, then it affects you for the next couple of holes, and your whole round's pretty much shot. So you just got to let it go.
Yeah, you just got to leave that hole in the past and just move on.
Yep. What else is new? Getting ready for Gracie's birthday. That's coming up.
There you go. Have any special plans for that?
I think we're going bowling.
Nice. That'll be fun.
Yeah, a little bowling birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So
on those days, do you like play like you're like trying to win the championship, or do you kind of?
I don't even bowl.
Oh, I gotcha.
I'm too busy watching the kids.
Okay.
So,
yeah, running the party basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I'm getting over a cold. You could probably still hear it in my voice a little bit.
That's not fun.
Yep. Yep. So, other than
At least
that,
you're getting over it and not just getting it. You know?
Yeah. I'm on the back side of the hill, so hopefully within the next day or two it'll be completely gone. So,
Sweet. There you go.
not haven't been doing much stand up. Hopefully get back out there here shortly. Been writing a lot though. Been writing a lot.
That's good. That's as long as you never stop writing, I think you're going to be okay. Because I mean, once you get back on stage, it is tough to get back on stage like for the first time in a while. It feels way different, but then once you do it a few times, then you're back in it. And
back in the groove. Yeah. So other than that, not much. Same old, man. Living the dream, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, you got to just keep having fun the best you can, and obviously we got a chance to record this episode not too long ago, so I'm excited to share this one with everybody.
Yeah, this one's a little different. We did.
Yeah, what's so different about this one?
We got back with the girls from Bewitched Banter.
Bewitched Banter is back on the show, so this is our first ever repeat guest.
Yeah, and it's not really a repeat. I mean, it is a repeat guest, but we went because they didn't release the last podcast onto theirs, so we went and we joined theirs, and we were like, well, we're just going to share it on our podcast as well.
Yep, exactly. And so we actually did it in a different style than you guys are used to. So we actually did the Bewitched Banter style podcast.
Yeah, we followed their platform.
Yeah, so you guys are actually going to be listening to two separate halves in this episode. This was split into two episodes. They usually release on Tuesday and on Thursday. So they are actually, I believe, releasing this episode this week as well.
Yep.
Again, just the first half is going to be Tuesday, second half on Thursday.
But we're releasing it all at once.
Yeah, so you get to listen to it a little bit prior, obviously. We want to have you guys listen to their podcast as well. So if you guys are ever interested in listening to that stuff, it's a great show. Like they know what they're doing. They do a lot of research, and it's just really good information, and it's just fun to listen to them.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to do too.
Yeah, for sure. Like we had to do research on this.
Yeah, we did all the homework pretty much.
Yeah, we had stories. That's going to be in the second half that you guys will hear. But we had to get stories ready for this particular podcast because we ended up having the theme for this podcast and their episode was prison romances. And so we had to look up a prison romance and talk about the story and go from there.
Yep. And I like this. To be honest, I think our jokes came out a little easier doing it this style.
It was, yeah, and it was interesting because we were able to work with the girls, obviously. So there was 4 of us, and we just really melded well together, and were able to work off each other really well, I think.
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely fun. So
but yeah, so this first half that you guys are going to be listening to, you're actually going to be listening to the history of prison romances, and so this is actually their research. They did all the research on this half.
Yeah,
but
it's the history and the psych behind the prison romance.
It gets into the psyche of like what everybody's mindset is in something like this, like, because it obviously doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, they dived into like what it's like in that kind of a situation.
Yeah, they dive into the psyche on how somebody can actually do this.
Yep.
So it's pretty interesting. It's actually really good. It's a good listen. And I'm excited to hear how their edit compares to ours.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be listening to both of them just to kind of see the differences. I think it's going to be interesting to see the editing techniques.
I think it's going to be night and day.
Oh, for sure.
It's going to be fun.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
I think should we just get into the first half and learn about the psyche and the history of prison romances?
Yeah, I think let's get into it.
Sweet.
So
enjoy, guys.
No further ado, here is the first part of the episode.
You're listening to Bewitched Banter.
I'm Krista, and this is my best skeptical friend, Amy.
And we have 2 other people joining us in-house today. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah. This is Justin Vandeventer.
And this is Justin Rademacher.
And we're with the Stupidest Podcast, here to join Bewitched Banter.
Yes, so excited.
So we got 2 Justins. Do you want to tell us your nicknames to make life a little bit easier for the listeners?
I'm Vandy.
And I'm Roddy.
Roddy, okay. So me and Vandy go way back. Like to Meth Vernon days. Small town Indiana of 7,000 people. And we know each other from middle school.
Yep.
Yes.
7th grade.
Mm-hmm. And we kind of reconnected through both of us doing a podcast. So you reached out to me first.
Yeah, I saw you on Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, oops. Pardon. Gotta turn off the old work.
See, Roddy, they'd edit this out. I leave this in.
Oh, yeah, we're keeping this.
Yeah, we do a little clap thing so we remember where to edit.
You worked so
a miracle
well.
when you're editing. You're like 5 minutes. You're like, oh, there's the clap. Just cut all this shit.
Cutter.
Okay, I'll cut it. So we go way back, and we were talking about Meth Vernon, right?
Yeah. Tell us more about Meth Vernon. What was it like to grow up there? And why do you call it Meth Vernon?
My experience is way different than Amy's from what I've heard.
Well, what's your experience?
I loved it.
I love Mount Vernon too, but I love to throw shade at Mount Vernon.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I love it because of the people and my friends I met there. But for me, I think living in a small town kind of drove me crazy. Like
it was such a small town that if you got in trouble at a friend's house, you were in trouble by the time you got back home.
Yeah. Like everyone knew about it. I mean, I literally got in trouble for being drunk in a park across from the police station, and one of the cops heard it on like the radio.
Yeah.
He came and like saved me because he was my tennis coach. Like that's how small our town was.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dang.
You better get your butt home.
Yeah, but we call it Meth Vernon. Well, me
And your friends.
Because it's #1 the tri-state for meth.
Jesus.
Was it really?
Yeah, well, it used to be. I don't know if it's still #1 today. I haven't checked.
I guess I don't know. I left in 7th grade, so.
Yeah, it's been a while. But moving on, you guys want to talk about your podcast?
Yeah, tell us about the Stupidest Podcast. How did you 2 get this together?
Me and Roddy used to work together, and then we always wanted to do something together, and we started doing stand-up and emceeing and all this, and then I don't know. How do you think we got it together, Roddy?
Well, we were just like you said, trying to figure something out that we could do, and we figured, well, hey, we work good together, and we collaborate well on the mic at Moonlight Bowling, so why not try to do something like that? We were thinking about maybe doing like a combo stand-up thing, but it just, I don't know, never worked out, and we just decided to do the podcast, and here we are. We've got 20 some episodes, going on 30 some episodes, and
Impressive.
Woohoo!
30 episode
I'm
30
doing a
just
round
came
of
out.
applause.
Well, you gotta tell
Nice.
our listeners what your podcast is about, though.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
pretty
it's
much
stupid, but what is it
The
about?
stupidest. What is the stupidest thing ever? Podcast ever.
pretty much about anything and everything. We just kind of ask each other questions and then we break down in from there and then we fall off topic.
Yeah.
Sounds about
we
right.
fall off. Yeah, we fall off topic quite a bit. That's basically the whole point of it, is to see how far off and how long we can stay far off, and just
And then try to find our way back.
Ooh.
I feel like teachers
Sometimes.
did that growing up, like, or that was like the trick growing up, is like, how can you get your teacher to talk about anything other than what they want to teach?
And math.
Yeah, you're like, how do we get them
Yeah.
to talk about something else?
And then watch the clock and be like, all right, 15 more minutes. We can keep them going.
Yeah, exactly. We're really interested and invested in your life.
I really feel like my college kids do that to me. Like I just had a moment
And
of
you probably fall for it
I
every time.
totally do.
You do. You do.
And they're
That's
grown
awesome.
ass adults. Oh man. Okay. Wow. Anyway.
And then do you
But
want
yeah.
to
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, we've just kind of developed it over the last, like, I don't know, 30 episodes. We started the first 10 episodes were just him, just Vandy and I. And then we started gaining some guests, and obviously we had you guys on for one episode. This is going to be another episode we have you guys on for. Yeah, and then we just kind of developed it. We add segments and all that kind of stuff, and it's just kind of a fun thing that we talk about stupid random things.
I love it.
Yeah, you guys are
Yeah, we
hilarious.
try to change it up every so often.
I know when we did the first episode with you guys, I felt like a lot of pressure, like come up with good questions. But I think it'd be fun, like having to think of good questions all week.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of preparation for our episode.
Yeah, I'm jealous of that part because we have to do a lot of research, and then you guys just come up with questions. I was like, that sounds kind of nice. We might steal your guys' idea.
What your format. Well, we put you guys to work for this episode. So thank you so much for having us again and for doing the work that we normally do. So you took some off our plate, Amy's plate in this episode. But yeah, Bewitched Banter, man, it was born on a February afternoon. Imagine the scene in a very richy shopping mall in Scottsdale, Arizona. And she and I and her husband and my ex would always joke about having a podcast together over the years. And it stuck with Amy and I. We're like, no, we want to do this thing, but what's the what? And then this one day we had God knows how many mimosas.
Well, we went to brunch and we hadn't been out forever because of the pandemic.
Yep.
And we were like, well, brunch then turned into lunch drinks, and then it kind of morphed into
happy hour.
Yeah. And then at the end of the night, that's kind of when we came up with the premise.
Yeah, we're really sloshed at this pizza place that we thought was amazing at the time, which is actually disgusting. But then I don't know, we were just sitting there and I was like, Amy, it was like this crazy light bulb moment. And I'm a skeptic of people, of human nature, but I'm obviously
credit for all of it.
Yes. No, I'm just kidding. Of course not. Of course not. She came up with a name. I mean, listen, we would not be here without each other. And you know, as you guys know, working with a best friend it can be tricky, right? But like we got it together. I think we got it together. And obviously there's gonna be things to come that we have to overcome together, but we're here. So premise being the skeptical of the spooky and spiritual world, me being the total like hippie chick, which I hate saying woo-woo because like I think it's demeaning, but it's what the nomenclature is, I guess. So all things spooky, spiritual, and funny as hell. Spoofs that are just like you gotta be kidding that people believe this shit. Some of it.
And we like to cover shitty people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The end of the
a lot
day.
of shitty people. So where do you guys lie on the spectrum of like believing? Like, are you big believers in ghosts and psychics and mediums and all that bullshit?
Tarot cards, crystals, yoga.
I'm a
I don't
believer.
know. Yeah.
Vandy's a believer in most of it.
What about psychics?
What's that?
What about psychics?
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yay, nay,
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, go ahead, Roddy.
I was gonna say I'm more of a skeptic than Vandy is. Of most things, but it's because he believes in mermaids and stuff. So
I know.
That's right. Let's talk about that real quick. Okay.
Yes.
Amy called me, what'd you call me last week? I was like, what? The wacko or something?
No, I called you a whack job.
Yeah, that's right. That was in our intro. This is my best friend, the whack job. Like, oh, awesome. But thanks. But the nice thing is, well, not the nice thing, the thing for me, mostly studying journalism and media, like, we can't have conversations with people to this day that have like opposing views. And obviously we're best friends, but we still have like completely opposite views on humanity and spiritual things. And so for me, the real premise is like getting to talk to someone that has another viewpoint as you and just learning what you don't know, or being schooled, like Amy's teaching me to be more skeptical, which has been really good. So that's the deep undertones of Bewitched Banter. But
I don't want to know about the mermaids.
Yes,
though.
back to mermaids being. Sorry, I digress.
I think I listened to your podcast and I literally texted Krista, he believes in mermaids.
I know, and then I listened and I was like, holy shit.
So yeah, if you listen to the podcast, I talk about it, and I don't believe it's like The Little Mermaid. I just believe I think there's creatures out there that
I see Ariel's hanging out somewhere.
Mermaids. There's been, I mean, I love watching the documentaries and stuff like that, like on Bigfoot and Yetis and the Loch Ness Monster, and mermaids is one that's always caught my eye. And there's been a lot of proof that mermaids exist.
Do you believe in Bigfoot?
Yes.
What about the Loch Ness Monster?
I don't think it's what everybody thinks it is, but I think there's some kind of creature in that pond.
I weirdly was obsessed with the Loch Ness Monster in 7th grade.
Like, tell us more.
Like I literally got
your meth
I got in trouble in 7th grade with my science teacher because I remember me and my friend would just talk about, we were obnoxious. I don't know if you remember Karina, but like we would talk about the Loch Ness Monster all the time, and I'd like draw, like you're like just doodling, and I don't know, I was obsessed with it. I had like what would Nessie do shirts.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You guys.
I'm just telling you guys, I'm a weirdo.
And I'm the whack job.
Well, I was middle school me, so I have kind of an excuse of grown up.
If you listen to our podcast, I actually have a Bigfoot story that I tell.
Oh, I missed that one. Give us the summation. Give us the brief.
Bigfoot. Well, I went to school up by Canada for college, and we were camping, and we pretty much had like a whole Bigfoot experience.
Holy shit. Did you catch anything on tape?
No, but we have like photos of footprints.
How big would you think this thing is?
According to like the footprint size was ginormous.
Wow.
And the spread was, my buddy could lay in between the separation of the feet prints.
Damn, that's scary.
And there's trees
too.
There's tree branches.
Oh, y'all hear that? Amy's being thirsty tonight. It's not me for once.
Well, it's got that big of feet, they say.
Well, that means he's got big shoes, though, right? That's all it means, right?
And big hands.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
What Trump say? I have the biggest hands. Believe me.
So pretty much all we found out, like after we got up the next morning, we found footprints, and he was close to the campsite that we were at, and there was trees probably in 3-inch diameter snapped like toothpicks.
No thanks. I'm out.
Yeah, it was pretty freaky. I mean, if you listen to the podcast, I tell it like there's heavy breathing, shit like that we could hear.
What episode-ish, if you remember off the top of your head? Tell everybody where we can find this Bigfoot story. We can cut it.
Roddy,
it had to have been the sci-fi one, so one of the more recent ones, so like 27, 28.
Yeah, we talk about it in that one, and then I think we talk about it in like one of our first 5.
Yeah, something like that.
Got it. And Roddy, you weren't there for this version?
No, I was not there for that. And just so everybody knows, so Vandy and I are both from Minnesota, and so I'm assuming this was in northern Minnesota, like your school was like up by Canada in this area, right?
Yeah, it's up by you.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that everybody like kind of understood the area we were talking about.
Oh yes, yep. Our Justin's friends are in the Midwest boys, and then we're in hot ass Phoenix. So
yep.
Desert girls.
Yeah, it snowed today in Duluth, so where I'm at,
yeah. I was just about to say, like, we're doing video chat right now, and you guys are in short sleeves, probably hot. We're freezing up here. It's gonna hit like 20 degrees tonight.
Actually, I'm gonna be sort of circa near you guys this weekend. I'm going to Chi-Town, as I go like every couple months to see my family up there. So be sort of close.
Nice.
Freezing my ass off, but you know, it's fine. I'm gonna dig out my semi-winter coat. I don't even have winter clothes anymore.
I don't either. I realized the other day I don't own a jacket.
Oh my God.
I probably should get one soon.
Yeah.
I think I've decided that I'm only gonna have winter clothes from now on because I don't think we're gonna have a summer this year. Like it's already April and we're having snow. Like it's insane.
When does summer start for you guys? Like summer weather, like June?
Usually, about June. Like it's usually starting to be spring by now, but like it's not. We still have about a foot. We still have about a foot of snow in our yard. Like I was playing disc golf in the snow.
You do. I don't.
Yeah, I'm up in. I'm up a little further north. I'm by Duluth, and he's towards the city. So
Roddy's about 3 hours north of where I live.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
We forgot to even tell what topic we're discussing today.
Oh yeah, sorry. So along the lines of spoof scams and shitty people, we are covering prison lovers.
I can't wait.
And I'll be covering particularly the psychology of that. And I think you guys each have a tale of prison lovers.
I know, I can't wait to hear your guys' stories. We gave you guys homework this time.
Yep.
Yeah, I literally felt like I was like in college English class or something.
I know, it does. It does.
Roddy goes, check. Look at my homework, guy.
I feel like
I even highlighted. Look.
Oh, nice. Good job, fellas. I do that.
Yeah,
too.
I didn't highlight. I did like book notes. Like, how did I cheat in college? Because I need to learn how to do that again.
Oh my God. Control F, godsend.
Yeah.
Listen, what would we do without Google? And hell no, I wouldn't have passed.
No
way.
Like the fact that you used to have to go to the library and like read through the book.
No,
I'm like, that sounds like hell.
No.
I wasn't cut out for that.
Why isn't there a movie on this?
Yeah,
that's what I always say.
Or Spark Notes.
Well,
did you guys use Spark or Cliff Notes? And I remember in high school.
Cliff Notes. I did Cliff Notes all the time. I think that's the only way I graduated.
Yeah, for when we had to learn about Shakespeare, I could not for the life of me make myself read it. So I was like, Cliff Notes, here we come.
Oh yeah. Spark Notes.
Yeah, I like Shakespeare.
Absolutely.
Well, sweet. Who wants to go first?
Well, Krista is gonna dive in.
Yeah, we'll dive into our history. I gotta pull it up, so you guys chit chat while I get it up. Not dirty intention with that.
Oh no, look.
Oh fuck. Can you guys?
What happened?
Oh, my thing went out for a hot second.
Oh, the internet was saying it was unstable.
It's not like Amy's, but it's still the same provider, so they suck.
Oh, nice. Yeah, last time if people listen to ours of our last episode on our podcast, they can see how many times that we dropped out.
Oh really? My God, did they have a contest or something? Like,
I think you could play a drinking game with it.
Yeah. Oh, is that bad?
Yikes.
Well, like we said,
cool. people actually loved it.
Oh, I'm sure.
It makes us happy.
Well, I mean, it's we don't edit anything out, so it's like it's real. Everything that happens is in real time. So that's how I like it because we always have the loon clock. You'll probably hear that in a bit.
Oh yeah, I remember you guys saying that.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Yep.
All right, give me 1 second. We're getting there. We did a whole folder for crossovers with just you guys. You should be honored.
Dang. Well, I appreciate you guys having us on. This is fun, and it was really interesting, like finding this story. The story is something that I wouldn't have found otherwise. So
Yeah, this definitely would have been something I would have looked up.
Yeah, it's kind of fun when you're like researching a topic and then you find like the perfect story. Like, because for sometimes when we do like topics, I find it's hard. Like, what kind of story am I going to find that has to do with like Ouija board or something really random we've done? And then when you find it, you're like, oh, this is gold. You get really excited.
Totes my goats. All right, so I found it. It's finally up. But yeah, Amy's Ouija board story was amazing. Check it out. If you guys haven't listening, because it was like wild. The drunk jury is in there and Ouija, it's wild. All right.
sweet.
Y'all ready for this psych behind?
I am ready.
I call this Fallen for Felons.
Ooh, catchy.
Woo, my alliteration. All right, so before we dive down to Darkness Drive, which has become the nature of Bewitched Banter, I wanted to ask everybody, let's start with the Justin, since you're our guests, give us like 3 to 5 traits that you would want in a partner. Just like, qualities.
Go ahead, Roddy.
Well, my first quality would be they need to be in prison.
Yes. Then you are perfect.
Dude, that's your last 5. You'd already described like your last 5 relationships.
Oh yeah, no, that. Yeah, well, it's because of me. Like if they get in a relationship with me and they end up going crazy, and it's a whole thing.
Committing some crime.
Yeah, it's like they're crazy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's usually something like damage to a car or a flat tire.
Don't piss us ladies off, man. Don't do it.
No, I've never had anything that bad happen. Luckily, there's still time. I mean, I'm a single guy, so I mean, it's bound to happen, right?
There's a lot of crazy people out there, men and women included. So,
man, I don't know. I don't really look for like anything. Obviously, I want the person that I'm looking for. I want to be attracted to them. I want to be able to have them have a really good personality that either fits or complements mine. They don't necessarily have to have the same interests as me, but as long as they're passionate about something, I love passion and seeing that in anything. Like I'm passionate about disc golf and comedy and the podcast and stuff like that. And so it's just really nice to see passion, whether it be, I don't know, music or sports or whatever. Like if I see passion, it's a good vibe for me. Otherwise there's not really anything in particular. Like I'm not looking for any like physical traits that it has to be there.
You don't have a type.
Anything like that. I don't necessarily have a type. Like you can be anything, anybody, as long as we connect and you have a good personality and there's an attraction. Like let's try it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, Vandy, your turn.
Up.
What's your dating show pitch?
As shallow as it is, I got to be attracted. There's got to be some kind of attraction.
That's shallow.
That's not shallow. Well, I think I was telling you. Somebody, my therapist was telling me like a while back. She's like, you don't sacrifice that. Like don't do that. Don't just like say, right. You know what I mean? So not shallow is my point.
Yeah, I got to be attracted. Honest, trustworthy, fun, easy to talk to. Someone that I want to talk to.
Mm-hmm. That'd be important. You're gonna be like, "Shut up, bitch."
Yeah, right.
Throw a sock in it.
Make me a sandwich.
Make me a fucking.
Oh my god.
See, they get it.
Oh my god.
Okay. Somebody I look forward to coming home to.
Aw.
All right.
Man, I want somebody that I hate having to spend time with.
Yeah, they're just a miserable person.
Miserable
human. They bring out the worst in you.
All right, Ames. Even though you're married, what are you?
And then.
Oh, sorry. Keep going. I apologize. Go ahead.
And I meet on the same sexual level.
Mm. All right.
So pretty low.
Yeah.
Low libido. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just kidding. It's really high.
No sex ever. Abstinence only, which they teach in this state. for some fucking reason. I don't know. Do they still? Ames would know.
I did not teach sex ed, thankfully.
Thank God she got out of that.
My kids would tell me about it, and I would always be like, "Can you please stop? I don't want to hear about this from 7th graders. Please stop."
Did you hear about those teachers? Did you hear about those teachers down south that are teaching like 5-year-olds about sex ed?
No.
Why?
Wow.
I feel like that would go over their head.
I mean, they should know the proper anatomical body parts for sure.
I think it's Florida. Like they're literally passing a law right now because of it.
Wow.
Because they were teaching like kindergartners about sex ed.
I mean, we started in Connecticut in 5th grade. I'll never forget that. They separated the girls and the boys. Oh, yeah, that's a little different.
5-year-old.
That's like half the age.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
5th grade is like 10 years old, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yep, it's 10. I feel like though kindergartners wouldn't even really understand.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But
yeah,
there's teachers like walking out and quitting. Like, if I can't talk to my students about sex.
Well,
where did you hear this story though?
Yeah, is this fake news?
Where's your sources?
It's all. I don't know. I've read it all over.
I'll have to look into it. I mean,
dang.
I mean, there's.
I think it's based out of Florida,
which surprises me because they're pretty.
They're very religious.
Yeah,
because they don't want them teaching like critical race theory.
You can teach that, and now they just passed. You can't talk about LGBTQ plus anything. Anyway, we digress. No,
I literally I learned about sex ed actually on our podcast. I just learned it like a couple episodes ago.
Female orgasm.
Yeah. I'll have to tune into that episode to learn a little bit myself.
Yeah, we had a sex ed.
I brought in a diagram for him and everything, pictures.
Oh my God, I love it. Here's a
we
banana.
Had a sex ed
here's a condom.
Yeah, I brought it. Yep, I brought in the banana.
No, he put it on me.
Oh, real life practicality. Okay. All right. So, Ames, sex at the top of your list.
Well, I've been with my husband for like almost a decade, so it's kind of hard for me to think of this kind of stuff. But I would say I haven't really had to like think about that for a while. But I guess
I'm pretty sure in our last episode you said, "Well, in my next husband, this is what I want."
Oh yes,
I did. I did say my next husband will have a lot of money.
Oh, you did, yes.
She's the only smart one that killed Putin. We should have taken her advice, y'all.
Oh yeah, we did. For people who didn't listen, we did a fuck, marry, kill, and it was between Ghislaine Maxwell, Putin, and who was the third person? The creepy
Hitler,
guy.
I think.
Which
Bill
one?
Cosby, wasn't it?
Oh, Bill Cosby.
Bill Cosby, and I'm the only one who picked killing Putin.
Yep, she won that one, y'all. We no.
What'd you guys? Choose?
Yeah.
We all chose the same, I think.
All that coming.
Yeah, I don't
know. To be honest, I'm pretty sure I married the guy.
You married Bill Cosby?
No, we married.
No.
Oh yeah, we all married Putin. Remember, because we wanted to be royalty.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I was the one who chose killing him.
You were smart, girl. Shit, we may not have a war. Damn it, Amy! If only you assassinated Putin. All right, so I think you said he was supposed to be rich. Your next husband, right?
No, I said next marriage. I was joking. Next marriage is for love. Or this marriage was for love. The second one's for money.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
I made sure to say it really loud so you could hear me.
Oh my gosh. Second that. Second that for me. But okay, so obviously these are all traits like normal people will look for. Most people don't necessarily off the bat say prison. I want a partner in prison.
The guy I can never see. I mean, I guess if you're a very independent person, having a prison like partner would be ideal because you could only probably see them for a few hours every week.
Oh, there's some psych on it, and we're gonna get to it. So obviously, you know, most of us, we want to be respected, we want to be loved, the person's good looking, conversation, intelligence, you know, mutual respect, among things at the top of the list of most people. However, there's a lot of people who actually are actively seeking a partner behind bars. And think back to all the horrific serial killers, which you guys are going to cover some of them, I think. So we have Ted Bundy, Scott Peterson, Charlie Manson, Richard Ramirez. These are all horrific human beings that committed disgusting acts of violence and just like subhuman, basically. I think for the types of crimes they committed were just that horrific. But they all had one thing in common, in that they had not prisoner daddies, but prisoner ladies. So they had fangirls coming out the woodwork, all of these men. And even Scott Peterson, and I think Charlie Manson.
I don't know the name Scott Peterson.
Oh, you know, so Lacey Peterson was his wife that he was convicted of murdering, of her and her their unborn son.
Was this recent or
90s, right, guys? You guys know the story? Yeah, 90s.
Okay.
And it happened in Modesto, California, and it's really sad. It's horrific. But
I assumed if his name is on the list, he's not a stellar guy.
He's just what I'm looking for. But he received a marriage proposal while in prison after being convicted of killing his wife and unborn child.
Did he meet this said woman beforehand?
No, this bitch just wrote him and sent in a marriage proposal.
I can't fathom how that could, like, the slightest bit how you could be attracted to that. Like, ooh, I love the suspense knowing maybe my husband will kill me tonight.
Yeah. Well,
I've sent off like 10 of them and I haven't gotten a response.
I mean, it's depressing when they say no.
It is.
Oh,
I can't even get somebody in prison to marry me.
Yeah, I can't even get a serial killer. What's wrong with me?
Well, we probably are all asking how the fuck, why the fuck, who the fuck are these people? There is an actual phenomenon in psychology, which is a real paraphilia called hybristophilia. And this is where people become sexually aroused by being with a partner convicted of a severe crime, such as rape, murder, or armed robbery.
What was it called again?
Hybristophilia.
Okay.
And it's an actual diagnosed thing, aka the Bonnie and Clyde syndrome. It was referenced to several times, where, like, you know, that story, they were on the run and robbing banks and getting off on it, getting away with it,
and getting off.
I mean, honestly, I would get off to a load of huge chunks of money.
I mean, yeah.
I think Roddy has this disease. Roddy, you have this disease.
I do.
I do.
Amy, you have hybristophilia.
Actually, this isn't an intervention.
Yeah. I knew they didn't just want to talk to us.
I was right.
Yeah. Krista brought in backup as like
the Justins are my enforcer.
Yeah, and she's like, yeah,
what's Dr. Phil doing here?
Collaborate tonight. Actually, no, we're gonna record this as your intervention.
I'm actually
entertaining.
You dressed for the occasion, Roddy.
Oh, yeah. I'm all orange on like my phone.
Oh yeah, you do.
You do. Orange is the new black.
Yeah,
for Amy.
I've actually decided I'm gonna put this whole conversation, this whole episode is actually going on my dating profile. So.
Perfect.
Well, that's perfect that you bring dating profiles up there, Roddy, because in addition to hybristophilia, there's actually motherfucking websites, if y'all didn't know about this, such as Bewitched Banter's trademarked prisoner daddies. It's ours. We're trademarking this. No, it's just kidding. It's a reference to one time Amy was like something about prisoner daddies, and we're like, trademark it. Turns out there's an actual fucking app, a dating app for people seeking prisoners. Okay.
It's an app?
Several. What? We have Canadian.
I'm on it.
Wow.
Canadian. Oh shit, there is. No, I'm on it too.
Like I said, I've sent in 10 proposals. I haven't got a response yet.
I've left for some handcuffs with Daddy. I would totally love to be on their. Okay, I don't agree with it, but it'd be kind of fun to be on their marketing campaign. Like coming up with the slogans, you know what I mean?
It would be a blast. That would be a blast.
That would be.
Like, will Daddy handcuff you tonight? What was it? I mean, you can have so much fun with it.
This bitch is thirsty tonight. I dig it. Okay. So sites including Canadian Inmates Connect, prisonpenpals.com.
Prison pen pals?
Literally.
That's the one I'm on.
Let's go look them up right now.
That's sad if you need a pen pal partner at this stage of life.
Convict.
Like go out and meet some people.
Convictmailbag.com.
What is it?
Sorry, it's so funny. Convictmailbag.com.
Mailbag?
Yeah, like a bag of mail.
Yeah.
Sounds like Blue's Clues.
It sounds like these people have like a turn on for penmanship.
Oh, and then finally,
Well, I don't think they can do much else.
.com.
Wait, what'd you say?
Meat.
I don't think they can do much else other than pen pals.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, ooh, look at his handwriting. Oh, it's slanted to the left. It's just really getting hot and bothered.
Look at those exclamation marks.
Me.
Look at those exclamation marks. Oh, God.
He really wants it.
Those 5 exclamation marks. Oh my God.
He's using cursive
Signed
and
it XO.
everything.
He signed it XO.
Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. Well, hybristophilia, as we now know, is a thing, probably attracts many people to those websites.
Do you know like the number of how many people are on those websites?
I didn't go that far because I was so shocked they even existed, and I'm still wrapping my head around that.
One for sure.
Yeah.
Party of one.
Party of one.
I'm actually on there, but I'm actually on there to like to get him. I'm trying to ghost Justin, but don't let him know.
It's working.
He's like, this handwriting looks a little familiar.
Oh my God. So obviously, oh sorry.
Wait, one more question.
Yeah.
And we can move on.
Yeah.
But how does it work? Because can the prisoners can't sign themselves up for the app, can they?
Girl, I didn't even. I'm curious too. Are you gonna sign up?
Questions.
Corey, call Corey right now. You guys, intervention. She's trying to meet a prison a man in prison.
In a lot of these like big prisons, I think they can have like handhelds and they can monitor the apps that they're on and stuff
really?
like that.
Oh,
okay,
that's new.
And some prisons I think actually allow you to have internet time.
Yeah, I used to work for a for-profit school, and I know they would get on to do their to do their homework, and then they like told me to like. Then the prison guard would tell me I ran out of time. That'd be like their excuse not to do their homework.
Oh my God. Sorry, excuse me.
Yeah, I'll have to do my own research. I have so many questions about this app.
Yeah, well, sorry. I wasn't looking for an inmate, so I apparently you are. I guess I can get on there and be a wing woman for you. Help you out. So Bonnie and Clyde syndrome is, like I said, a diagnostic thing on the American Psychiatry's DSM-5, and it notes that this condition may, shocker, interfere with normal sexual relationships.
I wonder how.
But there's a Psychology Today article by Robert T. Mueller. He's a PhD and professor of psychology at NYU. And he wanted to remind everyone that, deeming these douchebags as hot, like Scott Peterson and like Charlie Mansons of the world, they were like dubbed as hot in the media. And Ted Bundy, he said, huh?
That's my story tonight. Charles Manson.
Oh yeah, excited. He's a scary motherfucker, dude. Oof. Anyway, this psychologist said, in reference to when the Ted Bundy movie came out with not Channing Tatum. Oh my God, the one that played his life. I
know it.
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron.
Thank you.
Yes, that's it.
Thank you, Roddy. That's the one. So this is what he's referencing. The psychologist. He said, "Quote: I've seen a lot of talk about Ted Bundy's alleged hotness, and I would like to gently remind everyone that there are literally thousands." This is kind of a diss of other hot men depicted on the streaming service, almost all of whom are not convicted serial killers and murderers, end quotes. So
it's
Amy,
valid point.
In case you didn't know, there's plenty of other eligible bachelors not on prisondaddy.com.
Maybe we ditch Bewitched Banter and just make our own dating app.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's Prison Daddies. That's why you trademarked it. It's ours. We own it. We own the rights. All right. So do men fall for ladies in prison. What do y'all think?
I would say probably.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's got to happen. Yeah.
I would
Absolutely.
say probably not as much. Not
Okay. And
I'm
fellas?
gonna say twice. I'm gonna say twice as much.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm not going to say twice. I'm going to say like probably, I don't know, 75% of.
No. It's twice as much, dude. There's way too many whacked out weird dudes out there than there are whacked out women.
Interesting.
There's a lot of lonely dudes out in the world.
Oh, that's my daughter. Come here.
So we're saying how many in comparison to women wanting men in prison?
Yeah, exactly. So obviously the majority of the coverage talks about ladies writing men in prison. I'm asking if men write to women or fall in love with women inmates.
I think they not as much because there's probably not as many women who have like the same kind of fame and following. Okay. So I feel like a lot of women don't commit like mass crimes, like casualties.
Okay. Fellas, do you want to change your answer?
No, I think it's double. I think it's twice.
You're doubling down on the double down.
There's way too many weird single crazy dudes out there.
And lonely guys.
Oh
yeah, lonely guys.
Sad. Okay, but let me clear the record straight. In fact, Amy's initial response, some probably, is correct. So there was a Daily Mail study, or a study that was written about in the Daily Mail in a 2016 article. And it shows that prison guards and other correctional workers usually feel the attraction more by females in those roles, in prison roles,
that makes sense,
than male in those similar roles.
I can see that.
And this study was by Dr. Philippe Benson at the University of Montreal. Kind of close to you guys, no? No? Is Montreal not near you? I don't know.
I
don't know my geography, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know my geography either.
Somewhere near Boats, Canada, where Boats.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are just a few little snippets. Hybristophilia sees people attracted to those that carry out criminal acts, as I covered. This study focused on 300 cases of prison workers in the US and Europe, and it found that female workers, as I said, are more affected by the behavior than males. They assume, they being researchers of this study, surmise that this may be due to the roles that female workers carry out. And the prison administrators should provide more training on the issue. So to me, that's like a blanket statement saying that females are like more nurturing, basically. And I think we tend to make excuses maybe more for bad behavior than if like a dude is like, that bitch is crazy, he'll probably just like walk away. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's my really doctoral take.
Well, you're kind of saying that.
Yeah, not me. I give him like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. You're saying that prison guards are basically falling in love with the women in jail.
Yep, and not just prison guards. We're gonna get to other people.
So that makes sense to me because I could see that.
Well, I was
developing relationships with them.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say is just I feel like maybe the women think that they can change them. Like, oh, they've done that in the past, but that's maybe something that I can change about them.
That's true. Yep. Women love a project.
Oh, you guys are right on it. The next point. So from this Psychology Today article, another psychologist named Amy Rocock, she had been in the prison industry or the prison system for 28 years. She says there are actually 3 types of categories of who and what gets attracted to inmates. And again, typically it's women being attracted and instead of men in prison. So 1, nurturing. They feel they can save someone, right? I think Roddy just said that. Number 2, they're seeking protection. They want someone who is considered tough, rough, and quote unquote manly, because this gives the illusion that the person in question or the inmate in question can protect them. And then that's number 3, rebellious. They want somebody who they can live a vicarious, rebellious life with, typically that bad boy image.
Who can't pay their bills.
Right.
Because you're in prison.
Exactly.
Yeah. I want a bad boy that the government has to supply him with.
Hey, he's got a nice apartment. He's got a nice 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
That he shares.
That he shares.
Yeah.
You got a bunk bed. Pretty sweet.
Oh my God.
You
I
got
love it.
bunk bed pals. That's what I'm looking for in a partner.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but I got the top bunk.
Top
I got
only.
the top bunk. Yeah.
Totally. Don't drop the soap.
Oh no.
Oh boy, that's not funny. Okay, so there's another book named Women Who Love Men Who Kill. And this goes on to this was by Sheila Eisenberg. She interviews dozens of women who are psychiatrists, lawyers, social workers, and prison guards who are all in the prison system or work within the prison system to see why women find some felons so fine. This study was done in 1990. So again, back then they were handwriting letters, like actual old school pen paling versus these like prisonersonly.com bullshit. So if you're wondering when this book was written, it was like real organic, old school. Like you had to work to seek these mofos out. Like you must really be into the, your hyperbophilia.
Yeah, you have to wait like a week for your response.
Mm-hmm. If not longer, right? Like
it's love, all right? It's love.
Yeah.
Nothing waits for love. But anyway, so she studied all these women in these roles. Again, prison guards, teachers, or lawyers. And it profiles women who love people in jail for murder and revealing their capacity to make these men their quote unquote ultimate ideal, even though they've committed these horrific crimes. And so in a magazine interview regarding her book, Dr. Eisenberg, or actually I don't know if she's a doctor, Eisenberg, the author of this book, asked the question, like, who are these women? And like, just why do they fall? And when asked about the demographics regarding who they are, of the women she researched, Eisenberg said that they came from all backgrounds, all races, and some were so highly educated as to have a PhD, and to some that had no high school education. So all over the socioeconomic class. And some were single, some had children, some were married, some had no children. But one thing that she noted they had in common was that a lot of
self-confidence.
Sort of, a kind of a lie.
I was guessing.
They were, a lot of them were Catholic, which I thought was weird. Not weird, but the biggest thing, close to no self-confidence. Anyone want to guess what the biggest thing they had in common was?
Daddy issues.
Close.
Getting
warmer.
Abandonment. They've been abandoned earlier in their lives.
Starts with an A, another A word.
Asshole dads.
Abuse.
I was gonna say family abandonment, but
yeah, abuse. Unfortunately.
Oh,
yeah. There's a dark turn. There it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And,
well,
I mean, you could kind of surmise that.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say they're probably not the most well-grounded people if you love like serial killers,
right?
Because like you can't really go to happy hour and talk about that with your coworkers casually.
Oh, you can't.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Can I guess? I'm gonna guess abuse.
Yeah.
Am I I got it.
I think you got it.
Good job.
Ding.
I'm a good guesser.
The Eisenberg, the author again of this book, who did this study, she said the real crux of the whole thing is that these women, who were all damaged, they were either damaged in their earlier lives, they've been abused either by their parents, their fathers, there's your daddy issues, their first husbands, their boyfriends, whatever, she said, whomever it was, they've been sexually abused, psychologically, emotionally abused, and every single woman I interviewed had been abused in the past. And that's what I found out. That's the big secret, quote unquote.
That's sad.
So fucking sad, right? Like,
so
you can see why.
Did it say like if they were abused, were they all abused by men, or was it like, or did that not specify?
It didn't clarify, but I'm gonna assume, and again, this is a total blanket assumption, that it probably was men doing the abuse if they're attracted to like male prisoners, I would assume, but again, it didn't clarify, but that's a great question.
Yeah, well, that's a fair point too, just a good assumption.
Yeah, because they say there's like 5 ways people deal with it. One of them is like
isn't that weird though? Like,
what was that?
Isn't that weird though? Like you would think that somebody being abused would steer away from sex and sexual attraction.
Sometimes that does happen.
But yet they become the more sexual person.
Or it's either like probably no sex at all or totally sexually deviant, if you will, quote unquote.
Yeah, but it goes back to like, because there's one where you like compartmentalize your trauma. There's one where you like, there's like 5 of them, and one of them you repeat the trauma, which is interesting.
Break the cycle. Break it.
Sorry guys, I have to pee so bad.
Oh, break, I suppose. Let's chat, fellas.
I can't hold it any longer.
We're learning the editing technique.
The behind Bewitched Banter scenes.
I clapped for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Sorry, I know this is long, but we're getting there. We are getting there in the
my story's long. My story is 4 pages long.
But I just found it so fascinating that like this is the subject we're on right now too, of like, how does one deal with said trauma? You know, it's like just wild.
Yeah.
Reading these stories. There's so many psychos out there.
So many.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting listening to both these stories, because mine isn't like a famous story. Mine is just one that I just happened to fall upon.
No, we love those. We love those, Roddy, because those usually have the best, like, oh my God. Like,
yeah. This one has it's crazy because it's like I feel like it's more of a love story than it is anything about prison. So yeah.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure that
for a love story, even though I'm a cynic of people.
I feel like I can
be
happy again.
Nice. I'm pretty sure Disney is actually gonna pick up this story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's probably.
Are you fucking with us?
Yes,
oh my God. I was like, what? Well, Disney was a fucking asshole in real life, but anyway, that's another topic. All right.
Most rich people are.
Y'all want to do the clap-a-roo?
Sure.
All right. So where did we leave off? Okay. Eisenberg, the author of this book, who researched all these women in roles where they, could fall for male prisoners, said it's no big secret that they were all sharing past abuse in their lives. She went on to say, Eisenberg, that many women who find themselves in a relationship with men in prison feel a sense of control that they once lost, or maybe they never had. In there, he can't hurt them, essentially, is what she's trying to say. And so you're always in a state of control because you're the one on the outside, and he can't lay a finger on you physically.
That kind of makes sense.
You're free. You go on and you visit him. You decide how you want to see the person, when, how, where, and it's in obviously a controlled environment with guards watching. So you wouldn't be able to be physically abused. Now, could you be mentally abused still? Probably. But at least they wouldn't be able to be physically touched.
I mean, that makes sense. All what you're saying.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. I never even think of that.
Right.
Because to me, that'd be a turnoff.
Oh, yeah. Like, okay, stick it to the bars.
Well, that would be a turnoff. But also, like, the only time you could see your partner is when everyone's watching in a controlled environment.
Yeah, no, thank you.
But I guess for them, it's like means safety.
Yep, exactly. And then
it's a turn on for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. The safety
some of these women, exactly. One thing I thought was also really fascinating, though, besides this particular paraphilia in general, it's like fascinating, that some of the women Eisenberg interviewed didn't even seem to feel guilt or remorse about loving a murderer or someone who has done such depraved things to other humans. And Eisenberg found that all the women found a way to rationalize what their prison daddy lovers did.
He has a good heart.
Right, exactly. Or he's a changed man now, he found God, or he never meant to kill anybody. Like all these crazy.
Or he was innocent.
Right. Yep. All those types of narratives that the women tend to rationalize away the crimes that they'd been found guilty of, and obviously said in prison.
But it's like you could turn it back to like, you sought this person out.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like why? Let's unpack
Yeah.
that.
Like their reputation is murderer, and then you purposely sought this person out for a relationship.
Right. It's insane. There actually was one case about a juror who fell in love with the convicted murderer.
What?
And the murderer happened to kill an innocent older woman.
And that's after
Oh.
seeing all the evidence.
And she
Started out so good.
Yeah. And she marked him as guilty, or she, in her vote.
And still fell in love.
And then she went
Ow.
back to interview him or speak with him after he got convicted and in prison, and she fell in love with him after knowing what he did.
And she probably saw the actual physical evidence. They probably had pictures, right? I'm
Yep.
assuming.
Mm-hmm. And guess what she said? You guys nailed it.
Somebody needs to look in her closets, because there's definitely probably some skeletons in there.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
she might be a murderer herself.
Could be.
Exactly.
But she said
Hey.
he's changed.
So if I'm looking for a date, can one of you guys just convict me of murder so that way I can finally find a date? Is that,
Yeah, we might have.
is that what I got to do?
Put you on prisoner
You're having good luck by the sounds of it.
You'll be our beta test.
Okay.
Done.
I'm not gonna actually murder somebody though. You guys just convict me of it.
Okay.
Like I don't want to actually do it. That's one thing I want to make clear. I don't want to actually.
On the record.
How do you murder this fake person? in this
Yeah, let's get into
scenario?
that.
Like, what weapon would you use?
Well, I use the candlestick in the whatever room.
In the study.
In the study.
Are you sure it wasn't the dining room?
Colonel Mustard.
Mrs. Butterworth.
Isn't one of her name was her name Miss White? Isn't that one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is. Yep. Miss Purple or something.
That was
Plum.
Scarlet.
Miss Plum. There it is.
Oh, Plum. There was a scarlet one.
Yeah.
Scarlet.
Yes. That's
I was Colonel Mustard Beard.
yeah, you do have it. I love it. Okay. Where was I? Sorry. Okay. So this juror claims her prisoner daddy lover has changed. Then there's also the famous story about a lawyer who got involved with her freaking client. Okay.
I saw this story.
Ethics on ethics of all sorts of wrong going on there, but how is she not banned from the bar? I mean, I don't understand.
I almost picked that as a story.
Oh, really?
Oh, really? All
Yeah.
right. We'll cover it next time on prisonerdaddies.com.
Part 2.
I feel like we can do this a couple of times.
Okay, so she fell in love with her client, and guess what? She helped him escape.
Helped him escape.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yep. And she met him because they were pen pals.
Wow.
That's a good woman right there. Can we go back to the beginning? That's what I want in a relationship. I want a woman that'll help me break out from prison.
Break out of jail, ride or die.
You need that ride or die, man.
But I won't do that. What won't he do? Does anyone know what Meatloaf would not do? Sorry. It's way more important than prisoner daddies. I need to know what Meatloaf would not do. What was his bottom card now? Like,
Well, he wasn't gonna eat a Klondike bar. But I think that's what it was.
what would you do for a Klondike bar?
Have you ever seen?
He wouldn't.
Have you ever seen the music video?
No. Maybe
It's actually it's like a vampire.
So he wouldn't
Like
kill
a vampire
her.
scene.
So he
Huh?
would not become a murderer. Maybe.
He wouldn't like kill humans for her.
So he would not be a prisoner daddy audience target.
He didn't want to drink human blood for his girl or whatever in the music video.
Who does though? Who wants to do that for
But
their
I won't
their
drink
partner?
He's a
blood.
vampire. Like, but then she's like, I need to get out of this world. So he's like, well, I'll do that. I'll kill you if things get crazy.
Wow.
Oh.
I need to watch this music video.
That was
Dang.
the deepest explanation I've ever heard of that song. Thank you very much. All from the
On a
video.
On a lighter note, do you guys want to hear my vampire like really dumb joke?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So like I said, it's really dumb.
Amy
But
loves
okay,
dad
so
jokes.
okay. So if I ever were to date a vampire, I think I would name my penis Blood. because the whole "I want to suck your blood." Yeah.
Well, just go to prisonerbuddies.com. Maybe
There we go.
I'm sure
I told
that's
you it was
an app
bad.
too. Like vampire lovers.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
It's a thing. It's a fetish. Ugh, not
Well,
for
I've
me.
actually I was watching. Have you guys watched any of the What We Do in the Shadows?
A little bit.
No.
My husband's
Oh,
obsessed with it.
What is
it's
it?
amazing.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's
like,
it's a funny vampire like TV show,
yeah,
and it's a
That
movie.
would be Corey.
Yep.
Up his alley.
it is pretty. I've watched a few episodes. It's pretty funny.
Wait, it's British, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Or they have
What's it
British
on?
accents.
Yeah,
It's
no,
actually,
it's British. They love British stuff because obviously it's part of Amy's heritage. But I don't get British humor. I'm trying, but I don't. It's like not my thing. I know she's mad at me for it, but it's just not for me. It's not for me.
What's it on?
It's on Hulu.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's
Check
called
it
what?
out.
What's it called again?
It's called What We Do in the Shadows. There's a movie of it which is made by like the New Zealand Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords and
Yes, that's it.
a couple other guys. Yeah. Yep. So they
Corey
made
me
the
watch
movie.
one episode once, and I was like, no, thank you.
It's not like
Yeah,
it's. I don't know. I think it's like kind of mindless fun. It's kind of.
it
funny.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you wouldn't suck blood. Would you guys suck blood for love?
Why do I have to suck blood? Like,
Because
for
that's what Meatloaf wouldn't do for love.
I mean, but like to keep.
for love, Ames.
Oh, I'm
Come
like, do I
on.
get something out of this sucking blood experience? Like, did they get to stay alive? I'm just sucking blood to make
Or
them
drinking
happy.
blood, whatever. I don't know. I wouldn't, probably not, unless it saved a life.
I wouldn't. Probably not. Maybe. Absolutely.
I wouldn't. Probably not. 100% would. I already have. Did that last night for love.
Oh, I sure did. No blood goes.
Yeah. I don't think I would do it for love, but I would maybe do it for that Klondike bar.
You really want that Klondike, huh? All right.
Ever since I said it, I want one.
Do you happen to have any in your freezer?
0. I have negative. I owe people.
I have never
You
had
know
a
dead old
Klondike bar.
people in your freezer. Oh,
Yep.
Guys, I have a confession. I don't even know what that is.
a Klondike bar?
Yeah.
I don't like them. That's my confession. I know.
That's what I've never had one.
What is it? Like
That-
a candy bar for
It's-
old people?
It's an
Like-
ice cream. It's an ice cream treat.
Yeah, an vanilla
Oh.
ice cream and then surrounded by chocolate ganache.
Oh, maybe I have.
As
Maybe
a
I just
polar
never-
bear?
Isn't it
never
mint?
had. Hmm?
Isn't it like a mint ice cream?
You can get there's many different flavors.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the original is just vanilla.
Vanilla, yeah.
Oh.
God, now I want ice cream.
The ice cream's good, but the chocolate is like it's so like fake to me. It doesn't taste
Mm.
like you know what I mean.
I probably have had one.
I'm real bougie about sweets. 'Cause I
Now-
don't
now
like
I
them
want
that
one.
much.
I
What was
always
this
thought-
last weekend? You're like, stop being such a fucking princess. Because I want to eat this piece of chocolate.
Well, it was like a dime worth, and you're like, I'm gonna throw it away. I was like, just eat it.
Yeah. She called me out, but she was right. So I ate it.
Nothing like shaming your friend into eating chocolate.
That's loyalty right there. All right, guys, we're almost done with my history here. So we have a really sad sack of our population that has been abused. That's not
I
funny.
shouldn't laugh.
That's not funny.
I was
I'm
laughing.
laughing because you're making
I'm laughing because you said sad sack.
Sad sack.
I love that saying. Oh, nobody calls him a sad sack.
Our-
That's a great diss.
oh my god.
Okay, so I'll be serious about the
No,
abuse
being
part.
serious for real. There are a lot of people obviously in our society that have been abused, male or female. And unfortunately, this phenomenon takes, as we said, females are more prone to loving inmates than males are into loving lady inmates.
Because men have such high standards. Is that why?
I don't. That's a great question. That's for another time. I'm like, I don't even know where to go with that. But, so
We should wait. We should wait until we're able to find men on this podcast
Yeah.
and ask them.
Yeah.
wait. But Bewitched Banter is my dating app.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Come on, guys. We all know this. Okay, so to wrap it up, there was a woman who they changed her name to, protect her because it's still so stigmatized to be a inmate lover or lover of an inmate.
I mean, it should be.
Her name is Julia, who met Bill, quotes because again name change, on Inmates Connect. She wants people to rethink their stigmas about women in relationships with inmates.
I love this girl already.
Julia says they're not unstable or crazy. And by the way, Bill was convicted of murder and is currently serving a 25-year sentence.
Oh, honey.
She
said, go get some therapy.
She says, quote, people ask me, how can you fall in love with someone you've never seen in person before?
Because I'm crazy.
To that I say, what is the biggest success of an indicator of a relationship? Communication. I talked to him for many hours on the phone. I know how he feels. I can hear it in his voice. And when he's happy, sad.
This is so sad that she had to say this.
And when he's happy, sad, or whatever feeling, I compare this to being in a long distance relationship.
Oh my God.
It's no different, end quote.
No, the fact that you have to justify it, there's a lot of difference. Do you think she's footing all his because like for prisoners to make a call out, isn't it really expensive? Because the prison system charges like an insane amount.
Yeah, for like $1 a minute, probably, right?
She's probably like spending thousands to talk to him.
Probably.
Oh, Roddy, how much was it when you were in there?
Well, it was $16.84 for I think it was like 8 minutes. So if I just did the math quick.
Yeah, that's a bargain. But
wait, let me look at the statement real quick. Let me just get this out.
I mean, that lady, like, she must have been like spending a lot of money.
Yeah. So that's what I've got on hyperbiophilia and Bonnie and Clyde syndrome.
Fascinating.
Would y'all ride or die like Bonnie and Clyde if you were given the scenario?
Probably.
I fucking totally would.
Would what? Say it again.
Like a Bonnie and Clyde scenario, ride or die. Let's fucking do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I would do that for love. The end of my segment.
Good job.
Any questions, class?
I have a lot of questions about the app.
Besides how to use the apps and how to get on them, I can't help you with that.
And you don't have any of the answers.
I'll show you later. It's really a process to get your profile set up.
Yep.
You get screened. Is he in prison? Yes. He's in.
I have
a slight background check.
Yep.
I have a great question for you all. So what kind of, if you were on the app, right? What kind of like profile pictures would you use? Like,
great question. Fellas, let's start with you. What photos?
Me running through a field going, suckers.
I'm free.
Oh my God. Okay. Roddy, what you got? What do you have currently? What's your current profile?
Well, it would just be a picture of me doing this. I'm sitting on the couch wearing my robe with a microphone in front of my face. I'd probably braid my beard a little bit more. Probably make it look a little better.
Couple beads in there.
What? Yep. That's a great genius podcast idea. No one steal this idea. Trademarking this.
Yeah.
So your pen pal buddies with a prison inmate and you read the letters.
Oh, so there is one similar. It's called Ear Hustle.
Oh.
But she interviews, this is an investigative journalist, and she goes in and she interviews, actually, she produces the podcast with an inmate, and they talk about all the things about prison and how it works and all the it's really cool.
Oh, mine was gonna be more slimy.
Oh, I'm into slime. Well, you trademarked it.
Mine was gonna be a rom-com.
Oh, let's do it. I own 50% already, so we're business partners. So. All right. What would your picture be?
I know I asked the question. Now I'm like, I don't have an answer. I'm trying to think
too. Mine would be like I'm thinking Orange is the New Black, where they try to like make like sexy prison costuming and they like cut it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's what I would try to do. But
if you guys are going for inmates, I think you guys should dress up as like guards, sexy guards.
There you go. I'm sure they sell them around Halloween.
I'm pretty sure I was one for my whole Halloween days freshman year.
Nice.
Guard?
Something like that. Or detective. I don't know. Sexy detective.
I always like to do like scary Halloween outfits.
Yeah, she does good shit for Halloween.
Yeah, we saw that one picture.
Oh, with me being Voldemort?
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, that was a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, I usually like to dress as a guy. I think it's more fun.
You want to tell them and the world about...
She's whispering something that I
you can
can.
tell them.
I can? Okay. I didn't know if it was proprietary information. So speaking of Amy liking to dress up as a guy, she has a theory, or no, not a theory, a concept that she's going to do, and it's going to be her moneymaker. She's going to quit her job here very soon. I introduce you to the drag king Justina a Bieber.
Dang, there you go. You could do that.
Ada Beaver.
Don't you think that's a clever drag
Beaver,
name?
excuse me.
Yeah, I like it.
Ate my beaver.
No, because that's really close to my name.
That's where I got the inspiration.
Well,
Yeah, from your name.
my nickname is Tina.
Is it? Why is it? Tina?
Yeah, why is it Tina?
I have no idea how I got. I had a friend that Justina, and then it just became Tina.
I like it. So we can call you
And
Tina?
everybody calls me Tina.
Actually, I'm TT. That means auntie. No, you're not TT. I'm TT. But what's up, Tina?
Is it?
And it literally, like, at bowling, I was on the honor board and it said Tina Vandy Venter, and we hosted we hosted state, and everybody's looking at our honor board and they're like, "Man, that Tina girl, she can bowl really good." I'm like, "Yeah, nice to meet you. I'm Tina." And then I'm like, "What?"
China.
Or do we all say it at the same time
I
now?
know.
All right,
Oh,
you guys
you can't
ready?
do
They can't do it. We'll do it for you guys. It's cool.
All
All
right.
right.
Peace be
Peace be
witches.
witches.
Bewitches.
Okay, we'll get some water and we'll start
Back
back on.
on.
Okay, peace be witches.
There it is.
Hey guys, hope you guys enjoyed that first half. That was the history and the psyche of prison romances. Now we're actually going to get into the second half of this episode. And Vandy, what's the second half about?
This is where we shine, baby. This is where we come in and tell our stories, what we researched and got into.
This is when we actually get a chance to all the hard work that we put in looking up this story, trying to say it. Like I had a tough time. I feel just trying to make sure that I was articulate about everything. I wanted everybody to get it out, and I wanted to make sure that I told the story correctly. I didn't want to mess anything up.
Yeah, I had to really enunciate.
Yeah, exactly. And like, this is like, obviously we do some preparation for our episodes, but this was a little bit more in depth. So.
Yeah. I felt like I was back in school again, man. little homework.
Yeah, we had some homework on a podcast, which is a little different for us.
Yeah, we usually shoot from the hip.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
sweet. Well, I hope you guys enjoy the second half of the episode. Again, this is the stories of prison romances.
And here you go.
Well, that was the history of the Bonnie and Clyde syndrome and ladies who love inmates, prisoner daddies. Now we have the Justins here with us still. Thank you guys for hanging around for the history to tell us all about ladies who love men in prison. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, we never discussed
who's the lucky
going
winner.
first.
Chicken dinner.
Roddy, you can go first, man.
All right, sweet. I'll go first. All right, so my story is about Daniel and Petra. So it's the story I'm going to tell. It's actually going to be in their perspective.
Okay.
So when I'm saying this is actually going to be from their perspective. So it's going to start with Daniel, then go to Petra, then go Daniel, Petra. I'll kind of tell you when the switch happens.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so it's kind of an interesting little story. So
I feel like we're going to be lost.
no, I'll make sure that
I
you
have
guys are not
no
lost.
faith in you at all. Wow. There's your confidence boost.
I might be stupid, but I'm good at telling stories, I think.
Okay.
Well,
Hey, I'm the storyteller here, man.
Okay, we'll see who does a better job.
Ooh, yeah, we'll vote.
like I said, I'm a better storyteller.
Challenge
Dropping
accepted.
it.
Dropping it. Okay, so this is again. I'm going to start from Daniel's perspective,
Okay.
and
Okay.
he's talking about basically how their relationship got started, about their relationship while it was happening in prison, and then their relationship after prison.
Okay.
Yeah, so they've been actually together for quite some time. So I married Petra in June of 2013.
Okay.
By November, I was arrested for 5 counts of armed robbery.
Oh.
Yep. And he was put in maximum security prison.
Nope.
And he ended up being considered the he felt really bad for his crimes, and so he returned the wallets. More than one person actually turned them away with strong language because he obviously took them with force. But he was known as the apologetic bandit.
Oh.
And yep, so that's exactly like what the press deemed him as. He was accused of 18 robberies, and this all occurred on one really bad week in August.
That's a bad week.
No.
Yeah.
Shit.
Do we know what Daniel looks like, by the way? I'm just curious.
He looks like this. Yep, he looks like that. If you guys can see.
So he has like long hair.
He looks like
Oh my goodness.
Oh
he
my
looks
god,
like
an actor. What the fuck's his name?
Fabio.
I was gonna say that, or like
Fabio Light.
Yeah, Fabio Light.
Yeah. Yep. So he looks like that. Oh, it's this one, not her. It's him.
Yeah.
That's him.
And the girl looks pretty.
Yeah, she's
too.
pretty.
Yep. So but he was doing hard drugs and entered his life. Yep. He was a New York University student. In less than 2 years of narcotics ruined basically everything he had worked for.
Damn.
What kind of drugs we talking?
It just says hard
Meth?
drugs.
Oh.
Yeah, it just says hard drugs. It doesn't specify what drugs he was doing,
Okay.
but I assume all of the above.
Got it.
Yep. And then, so he was trying to clean up, and his reward for sobriety was marriage. So he ended up marrying Petra before he ended up going to prison.
Sorry, I have a question. Self-imposed reward, or like she said, I will reward you with my hand in marriage if you quit.
It's a self-imposed, like
Okay.
he considered that his prize, but
got it.
he wasn't ready for it. He thought he was, and shortly after he got married, because she didn't know anything about any of this at this point.
Oh wow.
So they met on a subway, but we'll get to that here in a second.
Okay.
But so he wasn't ready for this, and soon after he relapsed, and it was worse than ever, and that's when he ended up getting arrested and going to prison.
Wow.
So he was juggling debts to bad people. Actually, it does say right here, a daily $100 of heroin.
Oof.
Damn.
Is what he was. Yep, was what he was doing.
Christ.
And he had a doomed job of teaching. He wasn't into teaching, and he was doing all this stuff, so it just wasn't for him.
How do you
And he was
when you're on drugs?
I was gonna ask, that's why I was looking at you. I'm like, how?
I don't know how you would do that.
Yep, and he was hiding all of this from his bride. So
Wow.
they
Double
met on the
life.
subway. Yep, they met on the subway in 2002, and he kept pestering her on the subway, and he was pestering her in both Russian and in French. He spoke both languages, and she spoke both languages, and this intrigued her enough to take his business card. And on his business card, he wrote lifestyle artist.
Oh,
And so
no.
that also kind of also got her interested.
Bullshit artist.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
Yep. So she's a worldly girl, and so she was just very interested that he knew more than one language, and that he was a lifestyle artist. So she started falling for him. And then their courtship was actually short, but her visa was up, and so they either had to part ways or take the plunge and get married. So that's kind of one of the reasons why they had to do this so early. And again, she didn't know anything about his stuff at this moment. So she's just marrying a guy that she met on a subway, basically.
Wow.
And just, yeah. Yep. So she doesn't know any of this. We both lied to each other. She was 30, not 27. And
3
yep.
years. That's a big difference.
Yep. So they were, so they were both basically the same amount of evil.
I mean, I don't know, doing hard drugs and going to prison, a little bit different than lying about 3 years.
Why would you feel the need to? I can understand if you're like lying about 10 years, maybe, but 3
3
years?
years?
Like,
Yeah.
what's the point of that? What's the
That's
benefit?
stupid.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Maybe she just likes to lie to lie.
Or
some people
some
are
men
like
have
that.
like weird fetish where they don't date women over 20. Or
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, maybe his was 27. So she's
His
like
cap.
right at that cusp.
Yeah.
So then she found out that she had married a heroin addict in stages, beginning with $5 bills missing. And he had a a bag of dirty needles, and that fell from beneath the sink that she found. And
how would you not notice
obviously,
before that, though?
yeah, again, I'm not sure. So then he finally left.
Willful ignorance.
Yep. So after she found out about all this, so he left his freedom in handcuffs on November 13th of 2003, suspecting that his marriage was over. And then he pretended that he would understand if she chose to leave, because obviously he didn't want her to leave. He still like really loved her, but he like had to pretend that he was going to be understanding. But Petra said that she would actually think about it, and that was enough for him to at least be okay with trying to see what his chances are.
Okay.
And then prison made him grow up really fast. Obviously, there's a lot of lessons you can learn in prison. They pretended that all was well, as if everything was normal and like everything was happening in a traditional relationship. And he pretended that his bunkie just didn't stab somebody in the face 3 yards away from him. And so there's that.
What? That's terrible.
After a little while, though, he was able to turn his what he calls his chubby roundness into a bodybuilder's physique, because obviously that's one thing you can do in prison. You can make yourself look really good.
Maybe you go to prison for that, Amy. Yeah, we're just talking about how we will never get hot girl summer on point.
Well, the food would be shitty, so you probably wouldn't have much of an appetite.
True.
Like, do I want slop for dinner, or do I want slop for dinner?
So all we have to do is go to prison to be skinny. Yes.
He did most of this to impress her, obviously. But he also wanted her to have something to write home about after their conjugal visits, because they were in a state that actually allowed conjugal visits. And I'll tell you kind of the length later on, but it was at least enough for them to try to continue the relationship outside of like writing letters and talking on the phone and stuff like that.
Which conjugal should be allowed, in my humble opinion, federally. Just blanket. Let's do this. This is why people get violent in prison. We all have needs. You gotta let it out. I'm just saying. That's my my pedestal. prison pedestal.
Is that your TED Talk?
But he believes that all of his efforts that he was doing, like to transform his body, that he was also trying to like write her, make sure that like their relationship stayed strong. So he believed that all of his efforts allowed him a place in her life. And so he was trying to basically do that just to stay in her life. And obviously it worked for the meantime. And obviously, like I said, there is a little bit after prison. So you'll see that here in a little bit. So now it goes to Petra's. I'm actually kind of saying this from just our perspective. But now it's going to talk about a little bit about Petra. She believes that her husband was very talented. And he was very overly fond of praise. And so he basically did everything, he wanted people to love him. And he didn't.
Words of affirmation is his love
language. Yes. Yep. That is his love language. Yes.
Confirmed.
And yep. And Daniel's father is the mold that he was trying to cast himself in. His dad was, they each thought they were geniuses and that they were right all the time. And they'd never be able to let anybody forget that. So they want everybody to know that they are like the smartest person in the room. And in Daniel's case, he usually was the smartest guy in the room. And he did that for about a decade running while he was in prison. He was usually like the smartest guy in his area. Soon his high opinion of himself was going to be tested, though. She wanted to see how he would do with his prison sentence. And so she was just kind of letting him live his life, but also like knowing like, this is just an option for me. I don't have to do this if I don't want to. But Daniel would have to experience a lot of people going after her, because it's basically the world against him. And he was in prison. So it's a tough one. So she was curious about how he was going to handle that situation and how he was actually going to make it through. She obviously had an ulterior motive for coming to America. She wanted to find culture, and she loved the independent films. And that was one thing that brought her to here. And obviously, like what he brought to her fascinated her, and she wanted to get to know him and the culture a little bit more. And this is just a very unique experience of the culture that she wanted to obviously see what it was about. So And it was a little bit different than Europe. She's from Europe, and they ended up writing 2 pages a day to each other.
Wow.
Damn.
Yep. So it was a lot of writing. And
Verse of letters, baby.
Yeah. I feel like if you're in prison, you wouldn't have much to write about after a while.
Well, they did have a lot to write about because she actually said that she grew tired of the repetitive violence and outrage that he always wrote about, but it kept her amused for years. Wow. And he just kept writing. Yeah, they just kept writing back and forth for obviously for 10 years while he was in there.
Wow.
And now he writes for a living today.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. So that actually turned into his career.
That's really cool.
He also came with a family, and his family was she cherished his family.
Okay.
And she actually considers their family part of the reason why they actually stayed together, because they were actually that was basically her main form of communication was the family. Her mother passed when she was 16, and her father failed to fill the void, and her sister escaped into her own marriage, so she didn't have anything to do really with her own family, and so she dived into her marriage and obviously Daniel's family as well. So Daniel wasn't a financial burden to her at all because of the family, and so that was another reason why she was able to stay in the relationship, because she didn't have to worry about any of the finances. His family actually took care of that, so they were actually financially well off, and so they were able to handle all of that to keep her in the marriage. So he can definitely thank his family for that.
Yeah, definitely.
Now it goes back to Daniel's perspective. It made a project basically for both of them. So her project was him, and his project was to basically impress her. And so they just kept writing back and forth, made phone calls, and their conjugal visits obviously were probably a big part of that.
Probably kind of hot too.
Well, yeah, you have to like come down to it.
Yep. It says most lovers carry idealized images of their partners, squinting to who they are actually in bed with until they finally fit the imaginary person that they're actually with. And so because they were in prison, he was in prison, he was honest with her. Everything that ever happened, like he was super honest, and obviously she was honest with him as well. And so they got to know the real them basically through their writing and all that. The trick can usually trick somebody into this throughout a lifespan, but they were not able to do that because they weren't with each other every single day, but they were writing, and they were writing obviously different than how you would interact with somebody on a day-to-day basis. So, and it just the fact that they didn't get to look at each other every day also probably helped, is what they said. They said for some reason
builds the lust. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Kind of like my chick in the end, and kind of had a point that it is like a long distance relationship where you're building all that get and lust, and you get to see the person shit is on.
Yep. And it says right here, Petra was able to see all the holes in my armor because he was completely honest with her. So she knew everything before, during, and after prison. So as a result, we know each other as well as two people can. Even different than those of like friends or family or relatives, they were able to get to know each other on a much more personal level, they feel, because of the honesty in the writing. The project took 10 years, and it cost thousands in postage, consumed acres of trees and oceans of ink, but wow. they ended up thinking it was obviously worth it because they're still together today.
Yeah,
our marriage was it survived prison, and obviously a lot of convicts they end up burning the bridges. They usually end up getting in these relationships and using the other person to get them stuff, to bring stuff into prison so they can sell and do that. But that wasn't this case. They were actually able to have an actual relationship and build on that, which was pretty neat.
That came up in my psych a lot, actually. Exactly what you're saying, where you're stripped away of all the false images of the person, and you're so real and raw that it builds quote unquote actual ideal partnership from what the psych said. So that tracks is what I'm saying.
It's interesting.
Yeah, he ended up also like making her things in prison. So he made her a leather bracelet that he made.
Laughing like a sheep.
That would have been
She
great.
snuck him in one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He also used to cut off his ponytail. He would grow out his ponytail and mail it to her.
Gross.
Just
no.
That's so
creepy.
creepy.
Men do not do
He-
that.
No.
Well, they actually it sounds like it's a thing that actually happens in prison to point out how many years that it took to like grow, and like that's how long they've been apart, I guess, is kind of the
So
sentiment
creepy.
behind it. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that's part of the story, and it sounds like it's pretty popular. So
That's gross.
in that community.
Hey,
guess
you
you-
better learn.
I guess you can't
For
buy
Christmas.
your like chick a ring, so you gotta do something.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
good on getting your hair. Thanks. Mhm.
And then going back to Petra, she says that the gifts he sent he never missed a holiday card, but it was never a substitute for his presence. Like she wished he was always there, but he did always send the cards and presents and stuff like that.
Woo! My man did sent me a holiday card every
He
year.
never misses Valentine's Day because he has nothing else to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say he has nothing else to look forward to.
I mean, if you miss Valentine's Day, I feel like she has to like
Yeah.
kiss.
I mean, that would be
Yeah.
end all be all. Not prison, but the fact that you're in prison,
Yeah.
you couldn't write me a Valentine's Day
Yeah,
card.
that's where I draw the line.
That's it.
I want to hear the lie that when he does miss something, like I was pretty busy that day. I just I had a lot going on.
Yep. That was my workout day, that I had.
Yeah.
It was arms, and I couldn't lift the pen.
Yeah. Yep. She says not only was it hard to trust him, because obviously she didn't like know exactly what was going on, but she still trusted him that he was telling her everything. But she was also had like Daniel's friends were even telling her not to stay with him, and that she was wasting her time and making a huge mistake. So she was actually not only fighting like her inner self, she was fighting his friends, and the family didn't seem to be against it. They actually seemed to be for it, but the friends were not. They didn't think it was going to be a good idea. But
I don't.
she was
don't
still.
disagree
Yep.
with
She.
friends.
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
got good friends, or she's got good friends of his.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But she was willing to give it a chance, and she was in one of the 3 states in America that allowed the conjugal visits. So they actually had 44 hours of time together every time they had their conjugal visits.
Wow.
In
that's
privacy.
All right.
So that was probably where they were able to build up the relationship, obviously outside of the mailbox and stuff like that. But
Outside of the mailbox.
Inside something else.
yeah,
44 hours. That seems like a long time.
that's
It
what I was
does.
thinking too. I thought that was way longer than I was ever going to think that they would actually get, like,
I
ever.
think an hour.
I was thinking like 4 hours
Yeah.
max.
Well-
Wow. I'm
Well, if it's
impressed.
if it was a conjugal visit, I was thinking like 2 minutes. That's all you need, right?
Probably.
Still leaves a minute 50 for cuddling.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, like I said, it was the whole world against him. So she was going back and forth like throughout this whole time. Like, does she stay? Does she go? Like, what should she do? And then this is again going back to Daniel's perspective. So he was a con man, and he was a manipulator, but he was trying not to do this with her. He actually wanted to be authentic with her. So he was actually trying to be his authentic self and not go back to his ways that he did before, like when he was addicted. So everything in prison cost about 10 times the amount than it would on the street. So he was like, had the thought of trying to do this with her, and trying to manipulate her and get him stuff in prison so he could make money and stuff like that. But he never did it. So it was always, it was a good part of the story for me. He always thought that the marriage was going to fail, and that at any point that it was just going to end. He thought that she would just leave any day and stop writing and just stop talking with him altogether, but it never happened. And yeah, so I mean, they're obviously together today, and this is them, a picture of them, like a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Do
you
you
can
know?
tell a little bit of time has passed.
Do you know what year they start? Like how long they've been together? You might have already said that.
Yep. So they started. They got married in 2003, and they met in 2002.
Okay.
And sorry, he's out now, or is that a conjugal visit? That picture.
So he's out now.
Okay.
Yep. So he is out of prison. They said meeting on a train was very lucky, but what followed was very hard. But the years that they were able to, I quote, undress each other, through obviously the conjugal visits and through just writing and getting to know who the real them is. They think that was key in their relationship and getting to know who the actual person was behind the relationship. This is Daniel after he got out of marriage. So when I returned to share a bed with Petra every night, I knew I knew her in a better way than I knew any other person. Knowing each other's curves completed the project and unlocked our happiness. So just getting to know them before, like, he basically got a chance to spend 10 years getting to know her before he actually spent every day with her and share a bed every night. So he felt like he knew her more than anybody he's ever been able to know.
Wow.
Long time in the talking stage.
So he said it was the hardest battle he's ever fought, but it was the greatest reward in his life was to have the relationship and have it last and last through prison.
Wow.
I give her
mad props.
So much credit that I couldn't even express.
10 years? Hell no.
Absolutely not.
Like no.
Do you know?
So I think on your it didn't say.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know if they ended up ever having kids or if
probably too old now.
Or if,
probably not. He was probably too old by the time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
I don't know.
Or like, you know how
well, you could probably have kids from the visits, right?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they're one of those.
Well, I would assume they haven't.
4-hour marathon.
I would assume they didn't because, or at least like when the article was made, because it wasn't mentioned. And obviously like they did talk to them after his sentence was up. So I would imagine if they do have kids, they would be younger and it would be after the fact that.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Wow.
Yes, I imagine you don't have to use birth control in those visits.
No, you can't you can't. I mean, the fucking trying to. You can't tell a woman when and where to use birth control.
I know you shouldn't, but sometimes in those situations, you're like, really, should you reproduce with that serial killer? Not saying in your situation.
I was gonna say he wasn't a serial killer.
No, I know in your story. Not in your story.
He's defending him.
But in other stories,
my buddy.
He's only a heroin abuser and.
Yeah, he was still a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Charming. No, but I'm just saying, like, maybe for people who are like have a like I know like if they're visiting a serial killer, then maybe then it should be considered.
Yeah.
Because I wonder, like, being a sociopath and psychopath, if that can be
genetic.
Yeah,
I think it is. But
at least then you know your kid's gonna be dedicated.
She's dedicated. Let's be real. She's the dedicated one.
She
had nothing else to do besides write a holiday card every fucking.
Yeah, never miss a holiday. Good job.
Well, like I said,
that was the greatest part of the whole story. He never missed a holiday or a celebration.
Yeah.
My husband could be more like that.
Or you just got to start using heroin on the regular. $100
Go to jail. You'll never miss a holiday.
Well, like I said in the first episode, like that you guys were asking about us and what we were looking for. I was just looking for somebody with passion. I mean, if they're passionate about killing people,
yeah,
like I said, it's a passion. Yeah,
that's it.
They found a hobby. That's all that matters.
Yeah, yeah. I like disc golf. They like stabbing people. I mean, there's different things.
You throw discs, she throw knives.
Yeah.
Both very tactical with the hands, you know? There's a connection.
I mean, people honestly will do anything for love. Like, that is, to me, desperation.
Oh my God.
Like, I don't know, like 10 years in, think you can meet someone else?
But I won't do that. There's what I won't do.
Yeah.
Not going to wait 10 years while your ass in prison.
What about 9 years? What's the most amount of time you'd wait?
It depends what the crime was, and if they were put away.
I'm sorry, you're actually.
No, I am.
She really.
What if they were wrongfully accused?
True.
Well, it depends what the crime was, because people get put away for really stupid things sometimes.
Yeah, if it was like a thing of weed, then okay, that's bullshit. But
yeah, if it was a violent crime.
All right, put it this way. What if Corey got in a car accident, gets charged with manslaughter, and he's looking at 10 years?
Oh my God, don't put that in the universe.
Yeah, I don't know. That's dark. That's hard to think about.
But what would you do?
I don't know. I don't know.
You sticking around 10 years now?
Hmm?
You're gonna stick around 10 years now?
Guys, I can't say this on recording. Mom listens to this.
Oh yeah, she does. Hi, Robin.
Okay.
I would stay for 10 years for sure.
My mom listens.
It's okay. You can tell us after the recording. That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, 10 years is a long time.
Sorry, Corey.
That's my other question. Did Petra get some D on the side? You know what I mean? Like when it wasn't 44-hour rule time or go time. I bet she was getting hers too, and I hope she was, because
you couldn't be mad at her though. I don't think you could be mad, could you?
No, absolutely no right to be.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? He was faithful for 10 years.
I'm sorry.
How do you know he wasn't getting any D on the side?
He probably most definitely was.
Yeah, both of them. Who knows?
That's right.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm willing to bet he was. Petra, I don't know. I mean, I hope she was.
There are people who like to be in relationships where they're like committed to someone, but they don't have to see them very much. So prison might be the ideal situation for those people. Like
yeah, I mean, I kind of covered that.
Yeah, you only see them on your terms. Like, hey, I don't feel like seeing him today. Well, I'm not gonna go visit.
Real solid relationship to me.
What's he gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
And he's like, if he's like, I'm gonna dump you, be like, okay, who else are you gonna find?
Yeah, good luck on that app.
Man, well, that was a really good story. I like how it was lesser known and not a serial killer.
Yeah, I liked it. Kind of was almost sweet a little bit. I found myself rooting them on just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
I was
that's exactly how I felt while I was reading the thing. Because I'm like, okay, well, I totally, like, towards the end, I like totally forgot that he was in prison. I'm like, oh, this is pretty neat. I like this guy. And I'm like, oh wait, I can't. Nope.
No,
I'm excited. I'm excited for the Disney movie.
Yeah, I know. Like I said,
that's right. Presenting Conjugal Visits for 44 Hours. A love story by Pixar.
It could be like a Lifetime movie.
Oh, definitely.
Can you imagine the dramatic scene of her, like her running out to his arms, like when he's finally out of prison?
Oh, I imagine. You know what I'm imagining?
Yeah,
those conjugal visits.
She's envisioning the XXX version of the movie.
Yeah. So you're leaning more to porn. I'm leaning more to Lifetime movie.
I'll put money on it. I'll put money on it. There's a little red convertible sitting outside the prison.
So do you guys
character? If you had to pick an actress or
actor. Shit. Can I see the pictures again?
Yep. Here, I gotta put my cap on my water. I don't want to spill my water everywhere. All right, this is the before prison picture.
Oh my God. Kate Winslet for sure.
No, she looks like Monica from Friends.
So Courtney Cox.
A little bit.
That's her name. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the guy, I know he looks like
he does look like an actor. Oh my God, Ryan Seacrest right there.
Ryan Seacrest. I was gonna say Jay from like Jay and Silent Bob.
Dude, I think he looks like Chris.
Oh yeah.
I think he looks like Chris from Jackass.
Oh yeah,
Chris,
that's a good one. Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. Sorry, I was forced to watch that the other day. Yes, holy shit, he does.
Here's another picture. I didn't show you guys this one.
He looks like they look kind of rough there. Like they
Kate Winslet still. I stand by that original.
Well, you know,
and then this is the last picture.
Okay, they're not Kate Winslet. That would be more.
Oh, I'm so bad at the actors' names and actresses.
It's a model. Oh my god. Or Julia Roberts. I'm seeing little
see
Julia Roberts.
yeah, and
right
the guy,
there.
I see Julia on this one.
And the guy I can't tell.
And
oh
I
my
don't
god,
think we
the
should
guy from
post.
Scrubs, but he has to gain like 40
Yes.
pounds. Zach
Ooh,
Braff.
That's a
Zach Braff. That'd
see
be a good one. I don't know if we should post the pictures, just because I don't know if we're supposed to or not. But
As long as you get
if you guys
photo credit.
are,
We'll
I was gonna
post
say, if
them
you
for
guys
sure.
are looking for this story, all you have to do, I just Googled the prison stories, but if you Google Daniel and Petra's love story, and it was posted by The Guardian.
Oh, that's a good newspaper.
We'll post
Yeah.
the pictures
Yep.
too, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so people can let us know which actor or actress.
Zach Braff nailed it. Just saying.
Yep, that was a good call.
Thanks. Well, thank you for sharing that.
That was awesome.
Yeah, of course.
So we're going to take it from a love story to a psychopath serial killer story that's very not as sweet. Is that right?
Yeah, pretty much. And the reason I really kind of picked this out is because he's old as fuck, and the girl is me and Amy's age.
Wow.
How old is he?
He's dead now. He
Yeah,
was in
I
his
thought he
80s.
died recently-ish.
Oh,
like
I
about
missed
2
that
years
part.
ago.
Yeah, he died at the age of 83.
She was that old? Jesus.
Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, she was born in 1988.
Oh, that's my birthday year.
Yeah. Ooh. 32.
So-
We're talking about Charles Manson for all the people at home.
Yeah. Charlie Manson. Eek.
Yeah. So yeah, mine's about Charles Manson and Afton Burton, aka Star.
Star.
Oh boy.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So I'm just gonna read my story. I'm not gonna try to talk through it like Roddy did.
I would read too.
So
It's hard to remember details.
It is.
Yeah.
yeah. So Charles Manson, arguably the most infamous serial killer who never actually murdered a soul. That kind of attention seemed to have evaporated once he was in prison for life in August of 1970.
Okay, sorry, I feel ignorant. I didn't know he never actually murdered. He just had the family do it.
No,
On
yeah,
his
he was
behalf, right.
Yeah.
he was more of a cult leader.
Yeah,
Okay.
like brainwash people.
Okay,
You
yeah,
drink
that part I
you drink
knew.
the Kool-Aid. He's the
I
whole
never
purpose.
knew he just didn't have a actual physical hand in the act. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he is like I drank the Kool-Aid. He's the whole
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
line behind it.
Yep.
So
Well, actually,
twice
that's
married.
sound, but
Twice married and twice divorced, the helter-skelter figurehead did. However, start up a new romantic relationship at the ripe age of 80. Afton,
Ew.
Oh my God, no.
yeah. Afton Elaine Burton, also known as Star, first contacted the aging cultist in 2007 when she was 17 years old.
Oh, sick. What's wrong with
honey.
her too?
Yeah.
Unresolved traumas.
I mean, I shouldn't 80? Oh,
Yeah.
And in prison. Okay, first of all,
Sorry.
80.
And in prison.
And then you got in prison. Oh no.
Like, honey, like you could have went to, I always said this, you could go to a bar, close your eyes, spin around and point, and probably the first person you're pointing at is going to be a better pick than that.
Uh-huh. 100.
So who is Afton Burton, you might ask yourself? Well, Afton Burton was born in Bunker Hills, Illinois in 1988. According to the Daily Beast, the Midwesterner's hometown was comprised of one stop sign and a poultry population of 1,800 people.
A right old
As your
one
tw-
horse town.
Yeah.
Hey, that Meth Vernon has like what, triple the population?
Yeah, right.
Dang.
Yeah.
As your traditional American farm village, there probably wasn't too much excitement around. This is, of course, the natural foundation for any classical hero's journey. That's not to say Afton Burton was a savior of any kind, though that's certainly a notion anyone with big dreams from a small town may think before spreading their wings. So her dreams were huge.
Yeah, real big. Show the stars, honey.
Leave that stop sign behind.
So when Afton Burton was 19, she did just that. The Burton home was situated right behind a lake and had a big wooden porch. adorned with an American flag. This homestead wasn't quite enough for Afton Burton, though. And in 2017, she took out $2,000 in savings and ventured to Corcoran, California. Corcoran, California, while bigger than Bunker Hill, wasn't any sort of cosmopolitan town. It may have seemed an odd first choice to anyone else headed out west, but Burton had a goal in mind. She wanted to become the loyal bride of Charles Manson.
Wow. What a dream.
Yeah, she's living it, you know.
Why? Why? Why wouldn't you dream about like marrying Brad Pitt?
I mean,
or anyone
great
else?
Question.
Like, set your aspiration. The bar is low.
And also, like, how does
well,
she?
I feel like there's.
She picked a leader. She picked a leader.
Oh,
well, Brad Pitt's a leader too. He's the leader of a lot of movies.
It's true. That's true.
I know.
Man,
wow.
Actually, he's in the movie with. Did you guys see this? The Hollywood movie with him and Leo, and it's about the family.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what the name.
Oh my god,
it's
a Tarantino movie.
It's like a new one.
Yeah, it's called it's Hollywood something, I think.
And it's based off the Charles Manson.
It's like takes, you know how Tarantino always flips endings on his scripts.
Yeah.
Yep.
He took it as if like they didn't murder the beautiful Cheryl, help me out, the beautiful blonde actress. Oh my god. Sharon Tate. As if
I did watch that. That was good.
Anyway, Brad Pitt's in that. Speaking of Brad Pitt and the family.
It was it Hollywood Squares?
That's
I think that's what it was.
It's a Hollywood something.
That's it, yeah.
Oh, but it has Hollywood in it for real. And
I know what movie you're talking about now.
I can't remember the name.
All right, keep talking. We'll look it up. Sorry, I'm like.
Many have cited the physical similarities between Afton Burton and the loyal Manson family members and murderesses. Susan Atkin Burton said he was the most famous guy in the world, as though that offered any informative look into her eternal life. On the other hand, a fascination with convicted killers and a generation raised to idolize the acquisitions of fame by any means may seem to offer more insight. As the principal of Burton's alma mater, Bunker Hill High School, Matthew Smith was primarily concerned with how this obsession of the 2006 graduate would affect the faculty and student body. I just don't want any teachers involved in that situation, he said, in reference to an interview requested with Burton's former professors. As it turns out, the Manson murders, which included the 1969 Sharon Tate murders, and
the movie was called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's what it was.
Yes. Yep.
And the LeBlanc murders, has left people unwilling to discuss that more than 40 years after his incarceration, Burton's mother, her neighbors, and professors were all highly adverse to discuss Manson's at all. According to Burton, though, her initial attraction to the cult leader stemmed from the commentary of the state of the environment. When Afton Burton's friends turned her on to the Manson's environmental philosophy of the ATWA, air, trees, water, and animals, she'd heard enough. It could be that to Burton, these were the ideas of a man with strong moral character and appreciation for the planet.
What the
fuck?
And to Burton, perhaps this was enough to erase his misdeeds.
Wow.
Okay, so what if this was your daughter? Like, what if your daughter came to you and was like, Daddy, I'm in love with A prisoner, and B, Charlie Manson?
I would probably send them to a mental institute.
Yeah, there'd definitely be some counseling going on.
Yeah, I would be first just like, well, how did I fail so badly as a parent?
Yeah.
That would get me. And then also I'd probably send my kid away for help.
I was about it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Lock her
but
up.
He's in but he's into he wants to save the world, and he's just eradicating
he's really into the environment.
Yeah.
He's eradicating the people.
You're in love, aren't you?
I wasn't before, but now I'm leaning that way. I don't know.
Drinking the Kool-Aid.
Right?
I love Kool-Aid.
Roddy, I think you'd be at the front of the line to get a glass.
I'd be like, what's in it? It tastes a little funky, but I'm gonna keep drinking it.
Dude, it's grape. It's great. So she goes on to say, yeah, well, people can think I'm crazy. Afton Burton told Rolling Stones. but they don't know this is what's right for me. This is what I was born for. According to the time, Burton's relationship with her parents hasn't suffered from this strange infatuation in the slightest. Through growing up as an energetic teenager girl under a devout Baptist family was often difficult, the bond between each member has stood firm over the years.
So she's still close to her parents?
She still stays close to her parents.
No way. But maybe they think if they like abandon her, it'll just make their relationship stronger.
Her dad, you'll see her stands behind her like 100%.
What? No. Okay, there's something going on.
Well, maybe not stand behind her, but he's like, it's still my baby girl. I'm gonna love her and all. Like,
I don't know. No.
Yeah.
Does he like stand behind her during the conjugal visits, or?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Really,
buddy, brought it there.
He's really supportive.
Yeah.
Hey, a real stand-up dad.
You know, honey, if you do this, he'll really enjoy if you do.
Oh,
Oh no.
And this is what happens when ooh, yikes.
So she goes, I was forcibly excommunicated from my friends for a long period of time in my teen years. Claimed
Okay,
Burton.
I can understand why.
Yeah. I couldn't have any contact at all with any of them. It had a big effect on my life. Star Burton's father, Phil, rejected the notion that he kept his daughters secluded from her peers. Burton has since admitted that she has a very positive relationship with her family and contacts them on the regular basis to stay in touch. And while her father minces no words when it comes to Manson's and stated adamantly that he won't be hopping on a plane to attend the wedding, he also made it clear that nothing in this world could ever keep him from maintaining a relationship with his child. We are not going to, and we never will, no matter what she does in her life, disown our daughter, he said. I love my kid more than life itself. So the dad definitely didn't support it, but he didn't stop her.
As a dad, like for real, what would you do? Like if this is your baby girl, what's the scenario? This is crisis management, just so you know. Crisis time.
like I said, I'd be taking her to therapy for sure. There's no, I mean, she's at the time is 18, so I mean, it's not like you can stop her.
Right.
Yeah, there's only so much you could do at that age.
Yeah.
And at one point too, like I think you were saying, it was like it's sweet that the dad loves his daughter that much, right? But man,
it's like enabling her almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be like, can you pick anyone else?
At this point, he's kind of just fuel onto the fire.
Yeah.
I have a story real quick, a personal story. Did I tell this to you guys? My very first boyfriend was a real bad kid. And
you told us this in the last time.
Yeah, my dad punched a hole in my bedroom wall when he found me like talking on when it was a corded phone in the closet trying to hide like talking to him. And that motherfucker went to prison years later. What do you know?
Well,
real stand-up kid. But my dad was like, fuck no, it's me or this asshole. And I was like, obviously I'm choosing my dad, but
so your dad wouldn't be supportive in this situation?
No.
I don't think my parents would be either. They probably wouldn't talk to me.
Mm-mm.
Well, they probably wouldn't talk to you because you're married, and they wouldn't want you to go outside your marriage. You know, that's probably part of it.
Oh God,
oh,
I don't know. I just don't. I don't know how. I wouldn't have respect for the person.
Yeah.
Like you don't respect yourself, obviously, if you love a murderer.
Right.
Yeah.
This is not technically a murder.
I definitely fucked up somewhere along the lines as a parent.
Yeah.
But I mean, like after the fact that you learn about it and they're like in their relationship, like what worse thing can she do? You know, so there's only one way to go, and that's up from here, right?
Yeah, that is true.
I was like, she could get pregnant, but never mind. He's 80, so we're good. We're good.
I mean, that is rock bottom if there is one.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to say.
I'm like, man, if you guys break up, the next dude you're gonna date's gonna look like Jesus or God. Comparison. I'll be praising them like, hell yeah.
Yes.
Do you think she dates any younger now, or do you think she still stays for?
No, she's into the 80s.
She's into the 80s still.
She's not smart though, because he probably doesn't have like anything to leave behind. If she's gonna date old men, you might as well date like an old guy who has something to leave behind
besides a horrific legacy
yeah.
or an infamous legacy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had money or not. He had to have something because he had a huge compound.
Yeah, but don't you think they would take all that away?
Yeah, because anything that's
No,
made
because
about.
I think it went to the family.
Oh yeah, you're right. It might have. He probably somehow got away with some back ass rule, but for now convicted.
Like, I think he got the charges, but I don't think they took anything away from him because he didn't technically murder anybody. He just led him to suicide.
Yeah. No, you can't. But criminals can't profit off of their crimes. So like books, book deals, movies, movie scripts, they're not. I don't know if it's a federal thing, but in certain states, especially California, right, where all the movies are made, the criminals cannot make a cent off of their story rights.
Well, how did OJ Simpson write the If I Did It?
Oh, I think it's a newer statute. I don't, but yeah.
No, they can make money. They can make money off it. It's just gotta be outside of prison.
Sorry, I missed what you said.
They can make money off of it. They just gotta wait till they're out of prison.
Are you sure? I thought they were banned from it, but
they can't make money while in prison.
Okay.
Is what I've heard. Is what I thought.
I'm curious because with all the true crime I listened to, I know it was like a newer
but Anna Delvey made $300,000 off her show.
I would be interested. There's like speculations of like heinous crimes or something, or like murder.
I feel like they shouldn't be able to make money off of it because it almost motivates probably other people.
Well, you guys just telling me that I can't make money on crime I don't want to do any crimes now.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry, you ruined your plan.
We buzzkill for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm like, I was thinking all of these crimes I could do, and now I don't want to do any of them.
There goes your stellar bio for prisoner daddies. I mean, what are you going to put on there?
There goes your 10-year plan.
How are you going to track these people now? What are you going to do?
I got to reassess my life now. I don't know. Yeah.
You're gonna have to definitely get a new outfit.
No, I like this outfit. I'll keep it.
It does look very cozy.
It does.
I'm so comfortable. This is literally where I'm sleeping tonight. This is my pillow. This is my blanket, and I'm just gonna lay down after the podcast and pass
lights out. Oh wow, that sounds fabulous.
That is my favorite robe, dude.
It's
a robe. Okay, I thought
it's a robe.
Okay,
it's a robe. It's a robe. I thought it was a jacket at first too.
We called Moonlight, and that's all we wore was our robes.
Love it.
Not every time. It was just like once or twice.
One event, yeah.
That's still fun though.
I love that.
I remember toga night.
Yeah,
toga night was fun. We suited up a lot.
We did a lot of different things.
I like it.
We're stealing that idea. Thanks.
Do it.
All right. So for Burton, the notion that Charles Manson is an evil man was always nonsense.
Oh boy.
Though the man's last name has not been immortalized in the corridor of evil, Burton has remained adamant that the convict was falsely imprisoned. She's not alone in that theory. To be fair, though, the efforts she's gone to in order to alleviate his situation has certainly never been matched.
Oh.
Yeah, so she thinks that he's 100% innocent.
Wow. I can't wait to see what she did.
Yeah.
To try.
She's been good to him, Burton's mother, Michelle, admitted. Before Charles Manson died behind the bars at the age of 83, Star Burton did indeed take quite good care of her prospective husband. Adoring fans, not dissimilar to the young Star Burton herself, would send the convict money and gifts. Burton helped to manage the influx of money and presents that came from his fans, as well as to update them about his aging conditions on MansonDirect.com.
Wow.
Before he died. Yeah.
So scummy.
So disgusting.
Yeah. But the young bride to be eventually revealed herself to want more than just ceremonial connection to the man, In a few short years before his death, it turned out that Afton Elaine Starr Burton was actually planning to secure the legal rights to his corpse in order
Wow.
in
Interesting.
order to display it for curious observers in a glass crypt for profit.
Wow.
Stop. Okay,
What?
sorry. So first of all, Manson Direct still exists.
Yep.
And there's a whole Twitter account. Wow.
Yeah. He's still making money off this.
Manson
what's
Direct.
From the grave.
what's the most updated on his health? Because that's what he was talking about, was the health. What's his health status right now?
He's hanging in there.
Hanging in there.
I wanted to see what she'd say, because he's obviously I don't think he's hanging in there very well.
Oh, so it was recent.
What's the tweet?
Love Never Dies, 11/11/34, transcript of Blessing by CM. In this moment, we all find serenity and bliss and righteousness and truth. We accept life completely as forever. There's no beginning or end to it. We are. Man.
Wow. How much better do you guys feel about yourselves right now?
I'm feeling pretty good.
I feel like I'm a all-star person.
Yeah, I feel like the worst, like, I mean, I have a couple of rounds of disc golf that I didn't perform very well. But other than that, I'm feeling pretty good.
I know. I'm like, man, if you're feeling bad about yourself, just listen to this episode.
Or if a guy didn't DM you back,
talk
don't
about
worry
these
about
are great
it.
love stories.
Like,
I wish my life could be more like this girl's.
Yeah.
So, all right. In a few short years before his death, it turned out that Afton Elaine Starr Burton was actually planning on this. Oh, I already got that. Profit. All right. So, the crypt for profit. Daddy, I'm going to marry Charlie, Starr Burton allegedly told her father, Phil, on the phone one day.
oh, Phil.
Starr Burton and Manson had already developed a thoroughly relationship by that point. Burton visited her new baby
daddy. You can't conceive.
Oh, Burton visited her new boo in prison.
I love it, new boo.
Whenever she could. According to the Daily Mail, the couple even got as far as acquiring a marriage license, but it expired in February of 2015. Amid rumors of Burton's true intentions, Burton's father and mother, Melissa, denied the claims that their daughter merely wanted to secure the legal rights to the Manson's remains. According to Phil, the reason Starr Burton and Manson failed to get married was that the prison officials were vehemently opposed to letting Manson get what he wanted. There were several complications that arose regarding the scheduling of the marriage, said Phil. There was a lot of time that he was unavailable because he was in solitary confinement. The rumors are that the prison authorities were trying to make it difficult for them. There's no visitations, no phone calls, and no nothing when you're in solitary.
Oh, poor guy.
Right. Oh, pobrecito.
Yeah, he couldn't have a love life.
For a dad that didn't want to get on a plane to go see his daughter's wedding and all that, he sure stayed connected enough to figure out all this stuff, though.
Right?
Yeah.
Weird.
So while Starr Burton was busy maintaining what feeble relationship with Manson she still had, the former cult leader himself was occupying his time with another matter entirely.
Oh, I thought you were going to say another woman. How dare he?
It's actually a little creepier than that.
Oh no, another child.
He was making little dolls.
Oh.
But they were like voodoo dolls of people, and he was sticking needles in them, hoping to injure the lives of the dolls was fashioned after, said former LA County prosecutor Stephen Kay.
Wow.
Who helped convict Manson in 1970. He said this main activity was making those dolls.
Wow.
According to the New York.
That's
New
so
York
creepy.
Post. Yeah.
Level.
And then it doesn't even, first of all, talk about fucking cultural appropriation. Don't get me fucking started. Anyway, next, because that's not even the fucking point of voodoo dolls. Like, I covered it all in our voodoo episode. But
that's what you're mad about.
I mean, among many other things, let's be honest, but
that's
but like,
You're gonna let's focus on the fact that he's like dating a minor. It's creepy.
But
and he's like wishing spells on people. That's just creepy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but the voodoo dolls, that's probably one of the worst things he's done.
Yeah. Yeah, let's really
Out of
convincing other
everything he's
people to
done.
commit murder.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh my
that
god.
tops that. Yeah.
Burton's scheme to secure the rights to Manson's remains has hatched together with her friend Craig Hammond. The pair initially tried directly to get Manson's approval and to get him to sign a legal document. Journalist Daniel Simone said Manson eventually realized the relationship was built on fumes. He's finally realized that he's been played for a fool, said Simon, in reference to Manson's revelation. So Manson found out that this girl was just trying to make money off of them.
Oh, so he was like, fuck you, little girl.
I feel like there had to be some kind of motive for her.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, he decided to keep the carrot of potentially signing the document in front of Burton's face, as there were certain advantages to that. He didn't give them a yes, he didn't give them a no, said Simon, explaining that Burton and Hammond showered him with toiletries and other goods unavailable within the confines of the correctional facility. He sort of strung them along. Of course, Manson didn't even believe that he'd die anyway, which resulted in contempt for the preposterous plan on his behalf. He feels he will never die, said Simone. Simon. Therefore, he feels it's a stupid idea to begin with. Manson called Burton's wedding plans a bunch of garbage. That's trash, he said. We're just playing that up for the public consumption. Perhaps Manson wasn't fully aware of how his girlfriend felt, but she was certainly not parading his notion around for a mere laugh. Burton and Hammond wanted to be able to display Manson's corpse in a glass crypt and charge people from all walks of life a fixed sum to take a peek at it.
That's disgusting on another level. What the fuck is wrong?
Yeah.
A lot of things, obviously.
I can't. Oh my god.
So you're saying you wouldn't buy a ticket to go?
No. You'd have to. How much would you have to be paid to go to see that?
I don't. A lot? I don't know.
I think I'd pay $1,000. Oh, how much would I get?
Wow, we started the bar high.
Who wants to see a dead body?
So after he found out
honestly,
about that, did he? After he found out about that, did he make a voodoo doll of her?
Yeah,
right? Good question.
So, all right, when the rather direct approach of garnering the man's signatures didn't succeed, Burton pushed the marriage plan into high gear. As the spouse of what?
You're up. Watch out.
Mm-hmm.
I hear the wedding chapel or the bells.
As the spouse of
the chapel.
Gonna
marry a murderer
to a prisoner.
As the spouse of a dead man, of course, she'd be a full legal possession of his remains. That was the thought, at least, and a thought it remained. Manson never consented to the wedding in the first place and never will, Simon claimed. It's clear whether acquiring the cult leader's body for mere profit was Afton Burton's plan from the get-go, and whether she genuinely did want to marry Manson. Regardless, Manson never did marry Afton Burton, nor did he give her permission to display his remains. Charles Manson died behind bars at the age of 83 on November 19th, 2017, and as it stands, Burton's own legacy is currently relegated to a footnote on the expansive historic account of her idol.
Wow.
Wow.
I wonder what shitty shit she's up to today.
Yeah, we should look her up.
Or
did it come up at all for you?
I'm on that dating app and I'm seeing her sometime next week.
Oh, you got a conjugal
Which way
coffee.
can you swipe?
We're shooting for 4 hours.
Hey, that's extended time.
That's extended time. We've been behaving.
That's crazy though. That was a crazy story.
Wow.
That was good. Good
Like,
job.
so it's interesting that she started out as like loving him for his environmental bullshit, but really the whole time she was just trying to get that motherfucking money.
Yeah, but it makes me wonder if she actually really liked him for that, or if she just played this along so well the entire time.
I'm
Yeah.
sure she played it like the part. You
You
would
have to.
I mean, to be
Maybe that-
honest, it makes me. I think it's actually better that she was going for money than his love. Does that make
I was gonna
sense?
say
Yeah.
saggy balls, but yeah.
No, I feel like it makes me feel like she's more sane of an individual than loving a murderer.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's still fucked up, but it's
still
not. It makes it more
less-
acceptable, I guess.
more
quote unquote.
understandable, I
Yeah.
guess. Because I feel like money.
I was gonna
No.
say maybe.
Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say maybe that's why her parents were on board. Maybe her parents. She's like,
Mm.
hey, you know what? Maybe we can make this a family deal. You know, like
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna go with. Do you think the parents had any plans in this?
Oh,
Mhm.
100%.
Especially if the
I
dad
think-
was back in it.
I think so. Because I
That
think,
makes it even more creepier.
Yeah, it does.
like using your daughter as like a pawn. and
Disgusting.
then
Yeah,
disgusting
that's
me.
somebody that needs to look into that father. Then be like, hey, honey, I know you're 17, but hey, I'm gonna throw you out to the serial murder.
Wow.
Yeah, honey. What about like other avenues of work, like
Of
going
meeting
to
Hear me
them.
out.
college,
Hear me
learning
out.
a
Hear me
trade.
out. This is what we're
Yeah.
gonna do.
Like,
I know you
ever-
want to go to college, but we're gonna go a different route this
We're
time.
Yeah.
focused on this plan.
This could be your
Yeah.
college fund. You just gotta really set your like go for it,
Yeah.
and then we'll pay for your college.
Oh my god.
That's like
I know
messed
all
up
your-
on a whole other level.
Now, before I show you him, he is a little bit older than you, just a little bit.
Just a wee bit.
Yeah.
More than 3 times your age, right? Technically, right?
Yeah. Do you think a 17-year-old
More like
would
more
come
than
up-
almost 7 times.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like to me,
I
I
don't-
don't even know if a 17-year-old would come up with that plan by themselves. But maybe I'm underestimating what a 17-year-old could do.
I'm with you because she probably doesn't even know half of his crimes, right? Like we know it through our parents who are boomers who grew up when he was infamous for Helter Skelter. Like my dad used to always say it all the time, and so I had historical
she-
references. So how the fuck? I guess. Well, she's our
Maybe
age.
she was
so-
above her time.
I don't know about it from my parents.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh no, I do. And then all the true crime I watch, of course. But like,
Yeah.
never mind.
What
and
year
she's
was
our
this?
age.
Do you know?
Well, she was born 2005. Well,
Oh, you said 2015,
Graduate-
right?
no, she graduated in 06 or 07. 06.
Okay.
06. Yep.
She graduated in 06 and then she moved out to California in 07, I think.
Oh
is what
yeah.
it's-
So exactly the year we graduated. So would you call her an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
I mean, what she pitched that on Shark Tank.
Charlie Manson's body cryogenically frozen.
So
at the
I'm
end.
gonna have like prisoner serial killers fall in love with me, and then I'm gonna preserve their body.
What's your margin on
Yeah.
that?
I could just see him here. So what are you here for? What do you need from us? Well, I really need a good lawyer to get him to sign the paperwork.
Just sign that paper.
Yeah. Yep.
My God.
But hear me out. We're gonna have roller coasters. We're gonna have
Yeah.
make it an amusement park.
Oh my God.
I can see her pitching it to Mr. Wonderful. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you do weddings. You do weddings.
Yeah.
What about funerals?
Yeah.
How big is the market we're talking? Like what numbers?
Yeah.
Like what can we tap into?
And who exactly is this audience?
Yeah.
Wow, that was
Wow.
crazy. That was a good story.
Yeah,
though.
I never had heard that. Had you?
No.
I
no.
knew he was a creep as fuck, and like young women, flocked toward him, but I didn't know this scam to
I
get
kind
rid
of liked
his
it because I mean
body.
it kind of fucked him over in the end. So
No, I
Yeah.
like it too. I like the
Yeah.
fact she wasn't actually in love with him.
Mhm.
So it makes her a tiny bit less shitty.
Yeah.
Like
that
the
was
tiny bit.
definitely a long time for a scheme though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were invested at that point, like there was no looking back at that point.
And that's like prime years
mean-
of your life. Like you should be like going out and dating and having fun and just hanging out with friends, but you're wasting your time on that.
But you know what? It makes sense
She
that the
spent
parents were
10 years.
involved.
10
If
years.
if she wasn't allowed to see her friends, that's daddy controlling her.
I know, but
right.
we
So
don't-
daddy was involved. I'm just
we're
throwing it out there.
Yeah.
That's what makes me think the parents were the ones behind the planning.
Yep.
10 years? You wasted 10
Because
years
like you
of your
can't
life?
hang out with your friends. I don't need you to spoil what our plans are by telling your other
Exactly.
friends.
Yep.
What kind of
I'm with you on that.
I just can't even imagine, like, what do you envision for your daughter's future?
I mean,
Come see my dead husband.
Yeah.
$20 a pop. $5 for you.
Buy one, get one free.
Bring friend, referral code Manson Murders.
Yeah.
Coupon day. Tell your friends.
Oh my goodness. That's crazy.
Jesus.
Good job.
Good
though.
job, guys.
That was fun.
So
Thank you.
who's gonna marry a prisoner? Me.
If I can get a hit on this freaking dating app, I'd be there by now.
Have your business plan ready
Yeah.
from day one. You got to have it ready.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna follow her footsteps. I'm gonna start looking into the most famous freaking woman serial killer right now.
There we go. You could do like a podcast on the side.
Right?
Yeah.
Quit your day job.
I mean, I pretty much found out now that I need to find a better lawyer, and that is a good salesman.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Done.
Get that signature right from the get-go. How many
Yes,
times did I tell
Right.
you?
Right at the top. NDAs, prenups, all that shit.
I get your body when you die. God.
I'm not asking for much.
Yeah.
I would do anything for love. You can have mine. Wow, that was awesome though.
Yes.
That was a lot of fun. Good job too
Yeah, I
on
had
the
a blast.
research. I know it's your first time. I mean, usually you guys just do your questions, so good job on the research.
Yeah. We know we put you to work, homework, but
I was gonna say that was way more effort than I put into our episode. So
That was more, yeah, that was definitely more effort than I think I put into all of our episodes combined.
Yeah.
yeah,
So you got a little taste of what we do.
our weekly lives.
Yeah.
yeah. You guys do it weekly. We do it once every 2 weeks, and that gets to be a lot for us. I mean, it's 2 hours for us, but it's the same. You understand
Yeah.
yeah.
We get it.
because you guys have
Roddy,
yeah.
Roddy, next time I think we have them on, we sit back and they do all the questions, they do all the segments, and we just answer.
That'd be
Okay.
fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd be down.
We can if you want.
Yep.
Sweet.
Sign us up.
I think that'd be a good way to do it because then it's just 5 questions to get to know us a little bit better, and then it would be our topic hour, which whatever we want to talk about, I can talk about anything.
All right.
There you go,
We're
guys.
in.
That will be in the future. Another collaboration.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Well, thank you everybody for listening, sticking around. Do not marry prisoner daddy.
Yeah, please don't.
Don't do it.
We'll hook you up with a dating app first.
Right.
There's other fish
Yeah.
in the sea.
A different dating app, not the prison dating app. We'll get you with like the other ones. I don't
Yeah.
even know what to
Tinder,
name.
Bumble,
but-
Christians mingle.
Don't listen to them people. You do what makes you happy. You do what makes you happy.
That's right. That's right. Always follow your heart, even if it leads you to prison.
You want to own a dead body, you can own a dead body. You can do it.
Oh my god.
That reminds me of like Oprah. Like you get a car, you get a car.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You get a dead body, you get a dead body.
Yeah, that's what it kind of reminds me of. You can have your aha moment with
Oh.
Oprah.
Everybody look under your chair. There's one special guest in here.
Oh God, that's a good step part.
Oh Jesus. Well, with that, we're gonna say peace out, bewitches.
Peace.
Peace out, bewitches.
Peace out, bewitches.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Stupidest Podcast. That was the end of that with Bewitched Banter. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Man, that was a lot of fun. Did you have fun, Roddy?
I had a lot of fun, dude. It was a lot of fun learning about like the psyche and learning about the history. The stories were, I think they were really good stories. Like I can't believe like a romance could last over 10 years in prison. And then like the Manson thing, that just blew my mind. Like, yeah, it was an interesting episode for me.
Yeah, I feel like yours would have made a really good movie, and mine was just like two twisted people working together.
Yeah. I mean, and they were like trying to deceive each other, but they were like also like trying to show that they were in love, and it was a twisted tale.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. It was really fun talking with the girls too, man.
Yeah, and I feel like we really connected. Like we had some good back and forth with everybody. Like with 4 people, it's sometimes it's tough, but I think handled it really well.
Yeah, I think we gelled really well. I thought it was really good. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited to they want to do another episode, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and we're going to do a little different variety, I think, the next time we do it. So it's going to be our style again, with the Stupidest Podcast style, but they might be coming up with the questions.
Yeah, they're going to do all the work this time.
Yeah, so we don't have to do any prep. We just shoot from hip, go at it.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's the way I want to do it. I don't want to have to do any work.
Right.
I like it.
Boom. So, getting to be that time of the night.
What time of night are you talking about?
We still got our dedication, baby.
Oh, yeah. We got to dedicate each episode to a comedian. So we get to, I should say. We don't have to.
We give them the honor. We give them the honor.
We're giving them the honor. We want everybody to know that, like, we obviously love comedy. We want other people to enjoy comedy and get a chance to experience maybe comedy that they've never had a chance to before.
Exactly. So who are we dedicating to?
Well, the girls dedicated their very first episode to Dave Chappelle, and he actually just did his first producing of a show. And so we're going to dedicate this episode on behalf of Bewitched Banter to Earthquake.
Earthquake. He just had a special released on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It is hilarious. I cried laughing. It was one of the best stand-ups I've seen in a while.
Yeah, I still actually need to watch this episode, that stand-up special, because I have only seen Earthquake back in the day. I have not seen his new stuff, so I am very interested in listening to this. I might actually listen to it tonight before I go to bed.
Dude, he killed it. He killed it in this stand-up special.
Where do they get to watch it?
What's that?
Well, is it on Netflix? Or
yeah, it's on Netflix.
Okay, sweet. That's where I'm going to watch it tonight then.
Yeah, go watch it. He's been around for years and years. He's been in the comedy scene, and he's just a killer. Like he's always been somebody really hard to follow because he just murders.
Yeah, and if you're able to get somebody like Chappelle to produce your show, you know there's something special about the guy.
Chappelle actually talks in the beginning of his special about
that's cool.
About him, and he goes, "This is a guy that when I first came into the scene, somebody I looked up to, somebody I wanted to be like, and man, he came through."
That's awesome. That's special right there.
So it's really cool. Definitely a guy that deserved a special, and surprised he doesn't have more because this guy is hilarious. So go check out Earthquake. You'll love him. I swear.
Yeah.
If you don't love him, you don't like comedy, and you don't have a taste for comedy.
Yep. And you'll we're gonna get a little bit more in depth. So if you guys want to learn more about Earthquake, listen to the deep dive. The deep dives are, if you want to get to know each of these comedians a little bit better, get into the deep dive. Like those are fun episodes where we just get a chance to learn more about each of these comedians that we dedicate to.
I know I've been slacking on the deep dives lately for a little bit. I'm going to get back into them. Life just got a little busy for me with winter and cold and sickness and a bunch of other things, but I'm definitely coming back with them. They're not gone. They're coming back full force.
Well, plus, I mean, you were doing like every week that we weren't recording this episode, so that's a lot. So I feel like you're going to be able to get caught up, especially since we do this episode every other week. You can definitely get a few more in, get caught up, and we'll definitely have this one. This one's probably not going to come out for a while because we are doing them in order on how we have dedicated. So you might not hear about Earthquake for a while, but again, I highly recommend you look into him if you want to learn a little bit more about him. Like I said, we'll talk a little bit more in depth down the road.
Yeah, but definitely a comic that you need to go look up because this guy is hilarious. So,
yeah.
Go look him up. I mean, go watch his special. Like I said, it's on Netflix right now.
Yeah, look him up on YouTube too, because he's got some stuff. Like I said, I listened to him when I was first watching comedy, and that was in like the probably early 2000s, and he was one of the first people I listened to.
Yeah,
so.
phenomenal stand-up, man. So yeah, that's about it for the night, man.
Awesome. Well, again, if you guys like what you hear, look us up,
Yeah, give us a rating. Give us a rating on where you're listening. Add, subscribe. Check us out. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Where else are we?
We have a YouTube. You can always email us. If you want to email us, you can just email us at thestupidestpodcast@gmail.com.
Yep. Go subscribe to our YouTube. We definitely love to have you guys subscribe to our YouTube.
Yep.
I know it's not video. We're going to get to video eventually, hopefully someday, one day. It's in the works. But they can always check us out at www.thestupidestpodcast.
There's a third W. It's not just WW.
You let me do it the way I want to do it. All right. Yeah, you definitely got to do it the right way, or it's not going to work. So www.thestupidestpodcast, Roddy?
.com.
Boom. Check us out. Go add, subscribe, comment, give us a rating, talk to us.
Yeah, if you have any questions that you want to hear on the podcast, anything you want to know about Vandy, anything you want to know about me, any random question, anything like would you rather questions, if you want to do anything Roddy or Vandy, if you want to do love it or hate it, anything like that.
Murder, fuck,
message
kill.
us. Let us know. Marry, fuck, kill. Yeah, do that one. You can tell us about the entertainment you've been listening to.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something out there that you think we'd like. I want to get to know like what you guys want us to watch.
Yeah, we'll definitely give you a shout out too.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. That's about all we got for
guys.
Have a good one.